All right, everybody, what's going on? Happy Wednesday! You are watching Wrestling with Reality. I'm John, of course. Joining is my partner, Mr. Rich. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? How you doing today? I am freaking doing awesome. It's hotter than hell out here in Arizona, and we are doing great here, man. I'm excited to go over this documentary with you. We have long waited overdue for this one. Last week I wanted to talk about it so bad, but we didn't get the chance to. But here we are. I'm excited to go over it. It's going to be a little bit of a tearjerker, I'm sure, but we'll get through it.
It's something, buddy. I'm telling you. It's. I'm really glad we got an opportunity to talk Hulk here. I'm really glad we got an opportunity to talk Hulk. I mean, there's none better than him. And today's a sad day in wrestling, bro. We lost ourselves to Ted Turner too.
Billionaire Ted.
Can you believe that, bro?
I mean, he's been suffering for a long time, but it's crazy because, all these passings in the wrestling business and stuff, and he's a global icon. He's not just in wrestling. He transcended wrestling. He created CNN, all these other different entities, Cartoon Network, the list goes on and on. Didn't really care for the guy's politics, but definitely a pioneer nonetheless, and you got to respect what the guy accomplished. Rest in peace, Ted Turner, and God be with his family.
Yeah, what an icon, and our childhoods wouldn't be what they wore if it wasn't for Ted Turner and did what he did with WCW and giving Eric Bischoff the ability to really go out there and compete with the WWE and WWF at the time.
Sure.
And it's a sad day. Like Jeremy said right here. What's up, Jeremy? He said he put Atlanta, Georgia on the map. That's for sure.
He sure did.
What I heard? I heard Eric tell an interesting story about Ted. Ted's, one of the richest guys in the world or whatever it was at that point and owned everything. And he said that every day Ted Turner drove himself to work, not with a driver. He drove himself to work in his old blue Ford Escort.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, just
a humble, right?
Rich guy that could have anything he wanted. He's driving himself in every day in his little blue Escort. You gotta respect that, right?
You do. It keeps you humble, keeps you rooted from where you came from.
Yeah, thank you, Ted Turner, for 605 Wrestling Time. A lot of memories of the NWA on TBS. That's for sure.
Lying about that. WCW. Oh God.
What's up, Laza from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia? Going to try and make it to the end of the night, but it's been one of those days. I'm expecting a fun night. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
All right. You got it, buddy. My little lead in there. My favorite words to hear on a Wednesday night. Thank you, Joey. Great to see you, brother. And yeah, rest in peace, Ted, for sure. Man, what a guy. What a career. And what a pioneer. The first, 24/7 live news network, too. Let's not just look at it from a wrestling.
Yeah, CNN,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the first live news network and everything like that. But Ted sure did a lot for the business. Well, Ricky Dozon built everything.
We're going to get into Ricky Dozon tonight, man. What a legend.
It might be the whole show.
The Netflix documentary that's going to come out about Ricky Dozon in the near future. I'm sure people are clamoring. The jabroni that is Hulk Hogan is nowhere near the clout of Ricky Dozon.
Richie, I mean, I think we just got to say right now, I got to lead in with this for you. I know you had something you wanted to click in a second, but I have to lead in with this. We've had much deliberation, much talk over the last week, and we've really kind of established that proper homage should be paid on a weekly basis, and WWR is still here. But yes. Is it still Wrestling with Reality?
No,
I don't know. It might be changed over to this right here.
Wrestling with Ricky.
Little Wrestling with Ricky right here, brother. I mean, we got to pay homage to the man. Look right there. Ricky Dozon. Wrestling with Ricky. Oh, the man that created it all.
Nitro's getting taken over by Ricky Dozon right now.
I mean, can you imagine this?
Icon in wrestling.
Can you imagine this fucking guy, like right here, just like showing up? Like, look at this right here. What a stud.
Dude, look at that. What is that? A sash around his neck?
I guess. Look at him. If you don't believe that Ricky was the real creator, this was the original photos of the NWO right here, guys. Okay.
He was the original third man, but his legacy and just who he was as a person was just too big.
Dude, just like look at this. Him and Hall and Nash, the outsiders, the bad guys, and Ricky D. You know, Hollywood Ricky D. Hollywood Ricky D's right here.
Dude, you got a Hollywood Ricky Dozon figure right on your desk. Dude, there.
Hollywood Ricky Dozon sitting right here with me right now. Look at him right here with Rodzilla. Okay.
Dude, the worm.
Yeah, look at that pose he's giving up, you know, right there.
He's doing the funky chicken, man.
And we've also established that another thing to pay homage to him is each week that we're going to do the goof of the week. It's going to now be this.
Oh, Mark Kerr's a fucking goof. He's a fucking goof. Jeez. Anybody who knows him knows he's a goof.
Ricky Dozon is running wild, brother.
He's running wild all over this show tonight. We learned some interesting facts on Ricky Dozon this last week as well, Richie, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, his finishing move once crippled Hitler so bad that he surrendered in World War II. It was the mighty Mongolian chop.
The amount of people that the Mongolian chop took down?
Dude, you think Ric Flair gets woos when he chops? Ricky Dozon invented the woo, okay?
Wrestling with Ricky. There's going to be many stories throughout the evenings every night right here.
I pray to Ricky like at least 3 times a day.
I did 12. All right. 12 times. I had to count the 12 because each day I try to add a minimum of like 1 or 2 to it. So just recently starting this since we learned about him on Sunday night and paying homage to the great, you know, I'm up to 12 now. Tomorrow goals to be at 14 to 16.
Yep.
So you got a lot. How many times did you do today?
I did 3.
You're not fucking paying homage to him correctly.
Heathen. I'm a heathen, bro. I'll ask him for forgiveness. I'll do a few virgin Ricky Dozons.
All right. He might relegate you to getting some stomps put on you, some Mongolian chops and stomps on you.
You may have to chop me.
He's a bad dude. Wrestling with Ricky, though, always right here on the show.
That's right.
We pay homage to Ricky Dozon here every day. Yep.
We acknowledge the tribal Ricky Dozon.
The greatest icon in professional wrestling. Dude, hit that one more time for Ricky.
Yeah, you got it.
Hold on, let's put his picture up just to pay homage one last time.
Just and hit one last time, guys. I apologize here.
No,
right.
Oh, Jesus.
Dave Meltzer, we thank you for our newfound appreciation of the legendary Ricky Dozon.
Well, you know, you've been screwing with me for weeks, all right? And you've been screwing with me for weeks about this fucking fake-ass picture that doesn't even look like me.
Dude, it looks like you.
And Natty Night Fart, man.
Dude, and it looks like you.
You've been messing with me for weeks on this shit, and it's so fake it's not even funny. Okay,
dude, that's
look at that. Nobody buys this shit. That ain't me.
That's total you. That's you.
Clean so not me.
That's all right? You clean shaven, bro.
I haven't been clean shaven in like 15 years now. Yeah. But see, I'm a legit man, and I do legit things. Okay. And I uncovered, with a little help from some investigative reporting, of a photo of you and your favorite person. And yeah. So you and Cheeto Fingers here.
She's got Cheeto dusted fingers.
That is from the photo op of you and her.
You totally manipulated that. That was a total AI of the Ricky Dozon picture I have here. This is
absolutely
proof. This is proof.
Not.
He AI face swapped Naya fucking nasty ass.
Look at that. That ain't even Ricky Dozon there. That's you face swapping stuff out, okay? That's you.
Look at the shirt. The shirt don't lie.
Yeah, that's you, okay? That's you. This is the real picture of you and your fucking girl, okay?
No, man.
Yeah, it's a regular Ken and Barbie photo here. Look at him. You know what the great part about the You know what the best part about this picture is? The backstory on it afterwards. So Richie wanted to pay an extra $25, which she gladly obliged to lick the Cheeto dust right off of those fingers that you see.
I hate you.
Richie's got a fetish for Cheeto dusted fingers like that. So, $25
Get it
later.
off the screen. Get it off the screen.
Yeah, brings back some good memories.
This is my show too.
Yeah, brings back some good memories, huh? You Cheeto dusted fuck.
Dude.
That makes me think of the line from Step Brothers when he gets mad at him. He goes, "Shut up, you curly-haired fuck."
you totally. Wait. What is this one? What is that one? There's a second pose. What did you do?
See, that's another one that you guys had together because it exists and you know it. It was on your phone.
No, you AI'd it, and it was Ricky Dozon.
No, it wasn't.
You know it.
It was. Everybody knows it's on you.
Come on.
Said, "This is my number one cheese puff." That's a real pick. I'm proud of Richie.
This one went off the rails quickly.
It always does. All is missing is the wings. Woo! Yeah. Now I feel like Cheetos. So does she. Does she.
Yeah, she'll belch it in your face too, so you get to taste it twice.
All right, so we're working on TikTok. We did a little sample tonight. We know we said we were going to do it tonight on TikTok for those on TikTok, but we're going to do more later on with it. We were just kind of playing around with it tonight, trying to figure it out. We think we got it down a little bit, so we're going to do some stuff on TikTok again in the near future. So, make sure you go over if you're on TikTok and check out our channel and follow it over there because we are going to do stuff that's going to be exclusive there. So it will come, I promise.
Did you get a chance to see Donald Trump do the UFC 250 stuff today with Justin Gaethje, Ilia Topuria, and all that?
No, I did not.
What a sight to see! I'll tell you, the stage is phenomenal. It's gonna knock people. If it's what they're saying and what these pictures are portraying, man, this is gonna be a phenomenon that is going to live for a good long time that we're going to be talking about it because that stage is amazing. It's right in front of the White House, the way they have it set up and everything like that. Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje, despite us not getting John Jones versus Alex Pereira, I still think it's going to be a fantastic card, and I still think it's going to be a lot of fun. So,
yeah, I mean, it'll be good. I think it'll be a good card. I'm not wowed by it still, but I know the main event's going to deliver. But
dude, I'm wowed by the stage.
Seriously. I haven't seen it. Let me take a peek at it.
Take a peek at it because it's something. It was it's pretty breathtaking in my opinion. Like it's cool as shit. I was worried that they weren't going to be able to pull it off, especially with the situation that happened just recently. However you feel about it with the guy coming through, if you feel it was staged or not, I thought that was going to kind of put the can into the idea of UFC being on the White House lawn, but it's not. They're going full steam ahead, and I think the stage looks phenomenal. I think they're doing a great job.
Is it like the one with like it all lit up and everything, and the lighthouse?
It's like a dome. It's like a dome with the White House in the background.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's interesting. I wonder who the people are that they're going to allow on the grounds here.
Dana White said that they're giving the tickets away and that there's going to be a lottery for them.
Wow. I mean,
which is dangerous in my opinion, but
dude, can you imagine how fucking dangerous this whole thing is going to be?
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the human Cheeto in office,
Dude. He's a fucking goof.
He is, but he might be, they obviously had to have thought this one through, Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they probably have to have the biggest safety measures in place possible, but, you can't screen everybody coming in.
Right.
You could screen them, with metal detectors and that shit, but other than that, my God, no, man. Like,
our doomsday reporter, by the way, is in the house.
Rand, what's up, man?
The greatest icon in wrestling.
AEW had Sting do a rest in peace for Ted Turner on TNT tonight. Good, man. That's great. Well, look who's fucking here.
Rewind.
Woo! It's going to be senators.
He's in the house.
Jack shit about NWA, men and women, probably. And then a few people will get what are they watching it in an arena nearby or something too, or something like that?
I think so. That's what I heard. There's going to be a simulcast.
It's going to be really interesting, It's going to be really interesting to see how they do it, but I'm gonna go with Rewind here. Is it's just gonna be a bunch of rich people probably there for the majority of them. You know.
There's some
No, they
news on
haven't
that.
given him one yet. Jeremy.
There's some news on that though, Jeremy. There's a lot of rumblings that they're behind the scenes trying to work out Max Holloway versus Conor McGregor. Listen, if Conor McGregor comes back in July and he fights Max Holloway, who's one of the most active fighters on the roster right now, Conor's getting thrown to the wolves. And I think the UFC, I think they know he's on his way out and that he's going to go to the BKFC and take his star power elsewhere. Dude, it could be a turbulent time and a really rough time for Conor where they're trying to sabotage his star power, what's left of it anyways. They're feeding him to fucking Max Holloway. Like, and it's going to be at 170 pounds. So Max Holloway's not going to have to cut weight. You know what I mean? So Max Holloway's all but got it in the bag.
I would agree on that. And I agree with Rewind here, to be honest. I don't give a Frenchman's fuck about this. My gas is $5.35 a fucking gallon. We're having an MMA fight at the White House. Go after yourself. Yeah.
Are you telling me to go fuck myself?
He's not saying it to you. He loves you.
You goof. I'm just telling you, your couple $100 is going to be nice putting in my gas tank, buddy.
Ooh. There you go. How much you guys betting again?
$200.
When it's
is it $200 or is it $100? Rewind. I can't remember. I thought it was. Are we doing 100? Well, let me go look in our text messages.
Somebody's gonna make out pretty good though.
Yeah, I think it's $100. Yeah, it's $100. We agreed on $100.
And well, these days that ain't filling shit. I filled up my Mitsubishi for my daughter that she drives around the other day. And that fucking thing was $58 last night to fill up a little 4-cylinder Mitsubishi, and then my car's premium, so it's like $5.29, $5.39 or something a gallon.
Yeah, mine's $100 to fill mine up, and then my white truck is about $150, and then my wife's SUV is like $65, I think.
Jeez, dude. But like Rewind said, we're having a fight on the White House. People are getting their asses kicked. Rewind said $5 for you.
No, Rabbi said $5.
Oh, Rabbi said $5.
Yeah, Rewind said it's 100.
But we can do 200 if you want.
We'll talk about it.
He's calling you out live here. You got to make a decision. What are we doing here?
We're gonna keep it at 100. I'm confident enough at 100.
He's not confident enough at 2 though.
Dude, diapers ain't cheap, man. You know what I'm saying?
They definitely aren't. Will money from this event fund stuff like soup kitchens? I don't know about that.
Very doubtful.
$85 to fill up on Friday. That's what gas was $5.15 and it's jumped. Oh yeah, 150. You said, yeah. What?
150. Yeah.
How big? No, for your tank.
A payment plan. Rewind. Fuck you.
Listen to him. Are you sticking at 100? Are you gonna be a puss and stay at 100? Or are you jumping to 2 like a real man?
Wow, my own podcast partner's turning.
Hey, I'm just an instigator. Remember what ChatGPT said?
Wow, that's rough, dude.
We gonna puss out, or are we staying at 100?
I don't give in to peer pressure, man.
I know you
I'm
don't.
sticking at 100.
All right, he's a smart man. Then he's a smart man.
My wife's already
pissing
me that I'm voting.
Diamond upside down's a pussy.
Here's the deal. My wife's already mad at me that I'm going against her boy. Okay, Nate Diaz is her favorite fighter of all time.
All right,
and I'm going for Mike Perry. So.
All right.
Not that I don't like Nate Diaz. I think he's a great fighter. I just think Mike Perry's going to knock his fucking head off.
Rabbi said Rewind will take in massage payments as well.
He's going to have to get them from you, Rabbi.
I don't know. I heard that you kind of like that too. So I think he would, Rabbi. I think he would.
Nah,
he only prayed 3 times to Dozon. Okay. He didn't pay more than that, so he's not up to that level yet. So he's still doing massage.
I'm just dipping my toes in the legend that is Ricky Dozon right now. I will boost my prayers up.
Smart man when Diaz finishes P in the 4th or 5th round because Perry's
never just call him P.
Yeah, in the championship rounds before an MMA, you're gonna be glad you didn't raise that bet. I feel terrible for you guys paying $5 for gas. Gas is the highest it's been in my lifetime, and it's $3.99. Man, well, that's much cheaper than here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laza gets it. It's from Ready to Rumble. Diamond upside down as a pussy. A little extra baby oil per se.
Nope.
You need some extra baby oil there, buddy boy.
Oh no, I'm good, man. I'm cool as a cucumber.
Okay, sure. All right, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube right now, hit that like button for us, please. We'd greatly appreciate it. Helps it out for sure. So hit that like button for us. And little housekeeping is, if you haven't followed the page, make sure you follow and subscribe to the page. And if you're on Facebook and you want to shoot some stars over to your buddies for some good content, please feel free. It always helps.
It's $1.90 in parts unknown. That's bullshit. Ain't no gas anywhere. It's $1.90 unless you're driving a propane car, motherfucker.
Let's see. Is gas $1.90 anywhere now? Let's see. Trump said on December 6, 2005, that gas prices were below $1.99 in places, but I don't see $1.90 anywhere here.
Yeah.
If you're getting it for $1.90, let us know, Rabbi. We might have to move out your way because, man, $1.90 for gas would be real nice right now. Whoever wins the $100, this guy needs a WWE shirt. Well, it's going to cost you about a fucking $100 if you wanted a WWE shirt these days. Because Lord knows TKO likes to raise the prices on every fucking thing.
They're raping everybody on every fucking thing.
Richie knows he's got free massages for life. There's no bet on that. Parts Unknown has its own reserve. Rabbi, are you loaded and rich or something here, my friend? What's going on?
Well, he is a Jew.
Maybe he is over in Israel. I don't know. We don't know where he is. So
yep, they're hoarding all the fucking gas and gold for themselves.
Maybe, I don't know.
Hidden under their gigantic yarmulke that is the Iron Dome.
Who knows? That's a nice. Who's ever getting it for $1.90 right now? That would sure be nice. Got my last wisdom teeth.
Damn, Laza, your bumhole's fucking swollen up and your
wisdom teeth. Boy, this guy,
Dude.
He needs some love here,
dude.
He needs some fucking love here, brother.
Man,
he's been
swollen
going through
bunghole and a wisdom tooth pulled out. That's fucked up.
Those are two painful fucking beasts right there.
Yeah, it is.
All right, did you watch Raw this week? Because I didn't watch anything on it. Did you?
I did watch. I did watch it.
How was it?
It was good. Roman Reigns was featured on it. Him and Jacob Fatu, I think, cut extremely good promo.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, the Finn Balor match was probably the match of the night for me.
Who did he take on?
Finn Balor. He took on JD McDonough, and that was an exciting match in my opinion. I thought they did really well, telling a good story there. The match that was, dude, they had Seth Rollins get speared all fucking night long, like over and over and over again throughout the night. It was fucking annoying.
Okay. Anything else?
I love that Jeremy said that. I bet that wisdom tooth was a pain in the butt. Nice one there. Nice touch. Nice touch. That's about it for what I saw. Sol Ruka debuted, and what does it say? Russia is demanding total evacuation of Kiev.
Before Victory Day, the red line has been made by Russia. May 10th, the world will be watching.
Yeah, every fucking dictator, including ours, is putting a red line out there. Sol Ruka debuted. She fucked up on hitting Becky Lynch with her finisher. She almost tripped off the fucking ring post. So that didn't look too good. But other than that, man, it was a decent show. I wouldn't say it was solid or anything like that. It was okay. Definitely not something that you would have watched all the way through.
I heard Sol Ruka got new music or something, which I thought her old music sucked, and I think her new music sucks just as much.
Yeah. I like her move, and I think she's got a great future and everything like that.
Does.
But the crowd popped for her big time. I think that the Obafemi Open Challenge is probably the fucking most retarded shit they could have done for him.
Because now they're just having bums come out to get him?
It just makes zero sense to me, dude. Like, they had fucking Otis and him wrestle, and it was like, so you're telling me you went from Brock Lesnar
to Otis,
beating Brock Lesnar to fucking Otis.
That's a step up, right?
Like, and you're calling him the future, you know?
And it's like, I saw that. I like Otis too. I just gotta say that I like Otis, but
I like Otis too. But he's not Come
If you're
on.
billing this guy as the future of the company, let's be real. The Otis, the Otis train has long since sailed on that one. So
They
if
were
you're
like,
having him,
oh, Obafemi and Otis met in NXT. When he was the trash compactor tag team?
what were they called? Heavy Machinery.
Heavy Machinery.
Yeah, him and Tucky.
Fuck.
What shit, man! What a terrible thing. Remember, he was the guy that was the Money in the Bank guy that he did. They didn't even let him get to it. They made him give it away to the Miz or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Cactus Laza. My wisdom teeth was out as it was deep and fractured, but when they were doing it, it felt like a Japanese death match. But they got it all. Well, that's good. I had all four at once when I got mine taken out, and that shit was awful. So.
Yeah, especially when they're impacted. Dude, did you hear about the new stipulation of the Money in the Bank match?
No, I did not. And I like what this, we'll get that in 1 second. I like this rewind. Bring some decent people back for him to squash or somebody big in MMA. I like that too. It's a good idea.
Oh, fuck you, Jeremy.
He's listening to it every day. All right. All day. Don't let him fucking lie.
I'm not letting you guys fuck my Zen up tonight. I'm listening to Ricky Doze on Spirit.
All right. We got you. So go on with what you were saying there, buddy.
So did you hear about the new stipulation for the Money in the Bank this year?
No.
Well, whoever wins gets to keep their original contract that TKO negotiated for them. Everybody else gets their pay cut.
What a shit show that company is. My God. So that's apparently why the New Day got booted, because they were told to take a 50% pay cut. And they gave the old Ricky Dozon to him right there.
He gave him the Ricky Dozon double kick.
And said, no, we just signed a new contract with you last year. We're not taking a 50% pay cut. And apparently that's what they're asking. So if you get fired, I think basically now most of the people who are on the main roster who you might have questions about who are getting fired probably is related to not taking a pay cut from what it sounds like. What a shit show. They're not making enough money. They made like 1.7 billion last year. They're not making enough revenue. They gotta cut it.
That whip, baby.
Yeah, cut that $100,000 off of this person's salary or $200,000.
Well, if you notice, like both Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, they both said basically, know your worth in their farewell messages. Like, no, stand up for what you believe in, know your worth, and all. It's all the same shit that R-Truth said, So I tend to believe that R-Truth was one of the first victims of this. Mm-hmm. And then they've just done it consistently with other people behind the scenes. Now you're starting to see it happen to the bigger superstars, Yeah,
they let him come back, and now they're kind of saying to everybody else, they're like, this was a one-time thing. We don't give a shit if you're gonna bitch and I think they kind of said that this week on social media too. Basically, that we don't give a shit if you bitch and whine, and you say bring somebody back and all that all that bullshit. Like, we don't care. We're not paying attention to your comments on social media. We're not looking at it, and we don't care. We're going to do what we want to do. So, Yeah, Jeremy sent me this clip of Coachman and Henry on Busted Open doing the show, and I got to say, for one time, man, Mark Henry, I got to put him over. He gave
you're going to join the delegation.
I ain't joining the delegation, but I'm fair. And he gave a great perspective on it. He didn't sugarcoat it about TKO and the way they're doing shit, man. And he said the same thing. He's like, it's a slap in the face to people. These are the people that help build the company for a lot of them. And, people who are a big part of it. You're making record profits of 1.7 billion a year, and you're going to ask people to take a pay cut. They don't care. Even Nash said it on his show. He's like, he made fun of it. Like they treated him like shit at the Hall of Fame. They don't care about people. They don't care about any legacy of anybody like that. That was there.
They didn't cater or anything. They didn't have any food. They didn't nothing.
Yeah. And they're doing it with cheap ways to manipulate things. They've admitted to AI booking, that they actually AI book. And UFC,
how fucking sad is that?
Dude? UFC admitted today that their video package that they did for the UFC 250 White House card is all AI too. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that. It's a sad day because AI is going to water shit down so much. You're not going to know what's legit and what's not. It's not going to feel authentic anymore because it's not. It's not authentic. It's fake,
Every corporation does this shit. Every intel lays off a bunch of people. It's a corporate game. MFers need their bonuses. Yeah, for sure. I mean, rumor has it that Nick Khan takes home from WrestleMania a majority stake of the profits actually in WrestleMania this year. I don't know what the actual number is, but they're rumoring that he's over like $100 million plus bonus from what I've heard roughly, and who knows what's true. I'm not an expert on that. I'm just telling you what I've seen a few times, and maybe it's bullshit. Maybe it's not, but Nick Khan's bringing home like $100 million fucking bonus from this stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're worried about the fucking New Day and cutting $250,000 from a salary of a Kofi Kingston or an Xavier Woods. And trust me, I don't care that the New Day are gone. I'm not a fan, but these guys have been there forever, made that company oodles of money, whether you like them
Not
or
only
not.
that, they were one of the last breathing hearts of fucking tag team wrestling in WWE.
Yep. When you got Dana White and not even basically a part of the show anymore for UFC on that side of things, where he's just a puppet and goes and does his things. Dana White's more worried about gambling, like gambling and drinking and having fun and doing what he does.
You can tell he's lost his edge or his desire
Absolutely.
because of the control has been taken out of his hands. It's not like before with the Fertittas where he had majority influence on what happened with the show, who was booked, who was being pushed, so to speak, and stuff like that. Now, Dana White's not even, he's barely a face,
And this is why, Joe, you're right. I agree with you on this with TKO from the business perspective. I do get this because they have so many people under contract. This is a part of it that I do agree with. And you have to sympathize and understand. I just don't agree with the way that they always go about doing it. I think they're being cheap on cutting certain things. I do agree, though, that this has to be done. To me, a contract is a contract. And I think the contracts with independent contractors is the most bullshit fucking fraud crap.
They shouldn't be independent contractors. And as far as the catered meal for the fucking old guys that come and shit that pave the way, come on, man. You can give them
he's talking about like the people that are under contract that just come in there and cater.
Okay. I thought you meant the Hall of Fame thing.
Because they have so many fucking people under contract. I mean, the live touring business for them is dead. It's over with. It is long gone. It's not coming back. They don't do house shows anymore. They're not financially feasible and profitable for them. So for them, they do have to cut talent down, I'm sure, because they have just enough time on TV all the time during the week to fulfill what they can. Not everybody that they have under contract is going to get there. So it is a part of the game. I just don't think the way they do it all the time is the right way to do it. That's just me. And I think it's very criminal the way that they allow independent contractors to go.
The 90-day no compete clause is what pisses me off.
Yeah. You can't do shit for this time, and just sit on your ass, and that's it.
That's not an independent contractor.
No, it's not. An independent contractor will be able to do whatever they want then. So you agree to X amount of dates, and you're going to compete under this brand, and you're going to be doing 3 shows a week or whatever, 4 shows a week, and this is what we got pay you for. An independent contractor should be able to do other things outside of that.
Especially if you get released.
Yeah, that's my opinion. The Fertitta brothers weren't good people either. They were snakes. They snaked their way. Absolutely, they were basically like kind of criminal, if I remember correctly, because they were big into the casino business, right, Richie?
Yeah, they owned a few of the casinos out there and stuff like that.
And if you own a casino, you're a fucking criminal. Okay,
they've pretty much cashed out completely on all their entities and stuff that they had. So
this is why the touring business is dead, Joey, because the overhead costs are too expensive for it. Paying the talent to go out there, it's just not there anymore. So I get that component of it too. Do I miss the live shows? Absolutely.
Me too.
I missed when they were affordable for people to go to as well. And when TKO abolishes the Muhammad Ali back, boxing will be the same way too. They are monopolizing combat sports. That's what they want.
That's why Dana started Zuffa.
Yeah, it's what they want. I mean, what do you think Dana's thing is with the boxing thing? He's never going to take that to any big level.
I don't know what his deal is with it, but it's a sad attempt. And I'll be honest with you, Conor Benn was like their big fucking announcement that they had and stuff. And, I watched his fight, and Conor Benn, to me, he's nothing special. He's not a guy that you can hang your fucking hat on. So not really sure why they made such a big deal about him.
I like indie shows, Rabbi. I know you're a fan of going to some indie shows sometimes too. I agree. They're more fun to go watch mostly, whenever I get out. That's the last ones that I've been to was an indie one a couple years ago. I went to the midget wrestling, I had so much fun with that shit. I think I might go again this year when they come.
Nice.
It's a great time, but it's affordable to go. It's like $25 for a ticket. You know, you go have a beer, you go have a soda, whatever the fuck you have there. You're going to spend 40, $50 with your ticket for the night. That's affordable to people. You go to a WWE show and you're going to be paying yourself friggin' $500 for a ticket in the nosebleeds and $30 for a fucking soda and a hot dog or whatever, 20 for a beer.
You go look at WrestleMania 2000's ticket prices, and granted, I know it's 26 years ago, but you go look at WrestleMania 2000, which was a pretty fucking solid card, by the way. And floor seats were $500.
I was an independent contractor for a time. The CA didn't give me a no-compete clause after I helped overthrow governments and I took money from them to reinstall those same ones. What a guy you are, Joey. What a guy. I hate seeing Nick Khan in the crowd at Super Boxing. They need better fans. I just don't like Nick Khan in general. There's something about the guy I don't like. He's a snake.
I just, you know, bare knuckle is one thing, but just straight up regular boxing and all the fucking rules that they have and stuff like that you can hide behind, like that's how Mayweather did what he did for so long, is because he hides behind the rules and he switches up his boxing style and stuff, and he never gets hit because he's running the whole fight.
The best thing on television for any type of sport for me to watch when I can see it is BKFC, is bare knuckle fighting to me.
It's going to take over. And, you know,
I hope it does. Say
what you will about Conor McGregor. I think he has a vendetta against the UFC because they didn't give him a stake in the company when he asked for it. I firmly believe he's going to put this shit on his back, and it's going to take off. It already is. It's the fastest growing combat sport right now, and eventually it will take over the UFC. It will overtake the UFC.
I think it's a definite potential. It's going to be a lot of competition to them real soon, especially with Conor's involvement. If he can keep his head straight a little bit,
yeah,
it could really get there for sure. Nick Khan is going to be running TKO Boxing. He's the one in all the House and Senate meetings trying to get the bills passed. He's the front man for all that stuff. Yeah. Arthur Blank doing the right thing for the World Cup. He's keeping concessions affordables for fans during the matches this summer. And see, that's nice to hear, you know, when you see people do that. And, you know, that's just another example of Tony Khan being a good guy right here, Jeremy. I saw an article about it today where Will Ospreay put him over and said that his neck surgery that he had to have last year that kept him out a year, his neck surgery that he had to have, he said, cost more than his house, even with insurance. And Tony Khan paid all of his medical bills for him and paid him the entire year when he was out.
Praise Dozon.
Praise Dozon, baby. That's a guy that follows the path of Ricky. All right. Follows the path.
He's walking with Ricky.
Always, man. And you know, that's why I root for Tony Khan. Even though I don't watch AEW and I'm not really into it, probably never will be. I root for the guy, man. He's a nice dude.
Yep.
He follows the principles of Lord Ricky Dozon.
Absolutely. Hail Dozon.
What a fucking guy. What a guy. Look up the prices at CWC 1920 and WWE in 2026, and you can see the cuts are happening now just before the big event on Wall Street. Interesting. All right. Wrestling-wise.
Rand saying that the economy is going to collapse.
Yep. You're translating Rand for us. Thank you. What a guy you are too. You're really adapting to these principles.
Dude, you're a swell man yourself.
I try to be a pretty swell guy once in a while.
You are.
You're pretty neato, like Ricky.
Dude. I share a nickname with Ricky. You know, I was called that my whole life.
Yeah, I forget that it was your nickname growing up.
Yeah.
I forgot about that about you.
It's pretty powerful, dude. Like I kind of have some sort of spiritual connection. Like he's my spirit animal now.
It's a pretty deep connection you got with the guy.
What would Ricky do?
What would Ricky do, man? Is Backlash this weekend?
Unfortunately, I think so.
I'm not watching it, but sorry about that. But let's see what's going on Backlash here. What's this shit card?
Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns.
Oh, gee. That sounds exciting.
Who's Cody Rhodes facing? I can't remember.
I don't think he's taking on anybody, is he? Oh, isn't Danhausen going to be? Oh, yeah, Danhausen. He's going to be on that one, though, right?
I might watch for that.
Yeah, that might be worth it. Let's see. Let's see what the card is. He needs a partner to take on The Miz and Kit Wilson. Let's see. All right, here's our updated card. Trick Williams.
I wonder who his tag team partner is going to be.
We'll talk about that in a second. We'll hit that up in a second. So we got Io Sky taking on Asuka on Backlash.
Oh boy!
Yeah, boy, it's a fucking barn burner. I think this might be Asuka's last time you see her. That's just my personal opinion. I think the Empress of Tomorrow might be sent packing after this.
She might be sent packing tomorrow, huh?
I'm not going to be able to. It's my nephew's birthday this week, so we're going over at his house for his birthday party rewind. So I can't this week.
What a great fight that's going to be, by the way. Sean Strickland versus Chimaev. Somebody very well might die in the cage.
Amen. If I get home in time and I can, I will try to. I'll say that maybe a last minute one, but that's worth it right there just to watch it.
I'll do it.
Let's see. All right. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker is also on this.
Whoopee.
Yeah, no thanks.
We get to see fucking 20 spears in this shit, you know.
Yeah. Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn.
Oh, yay. Can't wait. Woo.
Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu.
That'll be a good match.
I could give a fuck less about it to me. That's just my opinion.
You
Roman will be out for all of June, apparently, right? We won't see him again.
There's something going on there. To announce that he's not going to be a part-time wrestler and then take the whole fucking month off of June, that's got to be the biggest rage bait that he could have ever done, ever.
And then the other match is going to be The Miz and Kit Wilson in a tag match against Danhausen and a partner to be determined. Who do you guys think is going to be Danhausen's partner? Richie, give me your opinion first.
Who do I think is Danhausen's partner? Probably it would make sense to do R-Truth because R-Truth has the history with The Miz as a tag team partner. And then to paint R-Truth up like that, I think would be hilarious. I think he'd fit right in with the gimmick. So I'm hoping R-Truth.
Well, he's in that tag team with Damian Priest, though, now where they're the champs. So I don't think they're going to do that.
That's right. Well, then, it would be funny if Pepsi Phil showed up.
These are the two right here that I think it's going to either be. It's either going to be Pepsi Phil or it's going to be Cody Rhodes. So one or the other. You're not going to get a pay-per-view without Cody Rhodes on it anymore. So I think Cody Rhodes might be our pick here, but Pepsi Phil would be a fun one too.
Although Rand brings up a good point, John Cena is showing up.
What is he teasing now? Like some big
that it's supposed
huge
to be
thing?
some historical moment
at Backlash?
Yep.
What historical moments have ever really happened at Backlash?
It would be funny if Danhausen says that John Cena's his partner, and it's just. This
would be fucking great if Obafemi came out for him.
It's not going to be Obafemi.
What if it was though? It's great.
It would be fucking hilarious, but it's not.
Dude, that would just be awesome right there if Obafemi was the guy that comes out. Everybody thinks it's going to be Pepsi Phil or Cody Rhodes. And here comes the monster, here comes the monster, Obafemi. That would be awesome. And he just destroys both of them fast. Shane McMahon. Cole said Danhausen's partner loves money. Okay.
Yeah, Pepsi Phil.
Yeah, Pepsi Phil does love it. His partner might be Doink the Clown. Well, there's been about 1 million of them, so it's not hard to bring him back.
A lot of them are dead, too.
Richie's favorite, Mr. Iguana.
Oh, God.
What do you think this announcement that's so huge for John Cena is? Do you have any idea what this might be?
He's gonna be fucking Danhausen's partner. That totally makes sense.
Do you think he's really would go against that entire year of things?
Well, you got to understand, The Miz came out at Mania, right? And talked shit to Cena.
Okay, they've had the career,
and then the Danhausen thing happened with Cena in the ring with The Miz.
I don't think he disrespects that entire year-long retirement run.
I do.
I don't
because I think it'll be a squash. It's not going to be a match. It's going to be a squash. He's going to get in there, F you both of them, and then Danhausen will do the little poke of fucking the curse, and then it'll be over with.
I don't know. I'd like to see more from it than that.
It won't be.
That's just me. I'd like to see more from it.
It'd be fucking funny if JBL came out. I'm not gonna lie.
Just clothesline from hell them.
It would be funny.
That would be fucking awesome if JBL came out. I'm always here for the wrestling god. JBL would be a great one for sure.
JBL prays to Ricky.
Oh, absolutely. JBL's he's a wrestling god, and he only got that title because Ricky goes on.
Recognized gods.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky Dozon was a big influence in JBL's career, from what I've heard.
Absolutely.
Amongst everybody else's. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, JBL, what a freaking guy, man. Hold on.
Yeah.
Could you picture Ricky coming out to this?
Absolutely.
Coming out in the big fucking limo, stretched out,
as he deserves.
Yeah, 100%. John Cena's big announcement is going to be an ambassador or the president of the WWE fan club or whatever the shit is. A membership was like $5,000 for it. Wow, that's good money. Yeah, JBL does love his money, so that is a good clue right there. I would love it to see it be JBL for sure.
Me too.
Nick Aldis. Nah, I can't see Nick Aldis yet. No. In the honor of the 20th anniversary of his first appearance at Backlash, God will make his return as Danhausen's partner.
Ricky Dozon will be Danhausen's. Ricky Dozonhausen.
What about that Ricky Dozon entrance that you sent me? Let me see if I can find it.
Was that not incredible, by the way?
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it still.
You want to talk about a gem of a fucking video?
It's like a godlike entrance that they give him in this thing. Let me see if I can find it.
The greatest icon.
Yeah, here it is. Hold on. I got it.
You found it.
I found it. Give me 1 second. Let me just load it up. All right, hold on. This entrance is exactly what I would think of when I do with him.
It's what I picture.
All right, here we go.
かつての世を酔わせた超人、今宵紐解かれる伝説、力道山降臨。
Shalom.
I'll translate for you to the greatest wrestler in the history of professional wrestling, to the man that bitch slapped Hitler, that brought Japan back to the nation they once were. The man, the myth, the legend, Ricky Dozon. Here it is. I get goosebumps when I watch this, bro. Fucking coming down, man. What a guy. Here he is.
In all his glory. That's Dave Meltzer's semen falling from him.
Dude, Dave's jerked into this a few times.
Dude, come on. That is so epic. Even Sting got fucking his shit from Ricky Dozon.
I like his pose, like Molly Holly.
Dude. Fucking perfect. That'd bring a tear to a glass eye right there, dude. Fucking beautiful.
Richie, hit it for us now.
What a guy. Look at that face.
What a smile on that face.
Look at that face. The greatest icon in wrestling.
What an entrance that is, dude.
Dude.
Dozon 8 Taz. Rewind says, without Ricky, no Taz and ECW, no Paul Heyman, no Brock Lesnar. So Ricky redefined professional wrestling. What a smart guy.
We would all be speaking German if it wasn't for Ricky Dozon.
The show is turning into apocalypse now. Hey, Rabbi, how about you come on live and explain to me how Dozon 8 Taz? We have a mature, honest debate about that. I'd be all for that.
Rewind's a master debater, dude.
We got the Mr. Bean entrance and the Jackson 5. All right. Let's go to UFC before we go to a little break before the main event. Who are you picking in this Sean Strickland Chimaev match up here? Who are you picking?
It's really hard because it depends on what Strickland shows up as. You know, that guy, when he wants to turn up the heat and fucking prove something, he comes out there and does it. There's one thing I can say about him is when everybody counts him out, that's when he's the most dangerous. They wrote him off for that Israel Adesanya fight completely. I mean, the betting odds were fucking stupid, and he ended up smoking him and knocking him the fuck out. You know, I truly believe he beat Duplessis. You go look at the damage in that fight. he should have never lost the title in that fight. If you go look at the damage in Duplessis' face afterwards, I believe Sean Strickland won that fight. This last fight that we just watched was incredible. He's got great blocking skills and defense, and he's very quick on the feet. If Khamzat Chimaev gets him to the ground and wants to choke him out, that's where he's going to have an issue, is on the ground with him.
And I think he gets into the ground with ease, to be honest with you. I do. I think Chimaev is going to ragdoll him.
It's on the feet. If it's on the feet, I think that Strickland has a great opportunity to win. If it's not, then Chimaev's got it.
Yeah. And you got to say about Strickland.
And I don't like Chimaev, by the way.
Oh, I know
I
you
don't
don't.
like Chimaev. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to say about Strickland, and I don't like Strickland. I think he's a prick, and I wish nothing but the worst for him. And, because I just think he's a mean and hateful human being. And I think he legitly is, but that's just my opinion. So when I see him out there, though, I got to say one thing about him is the dude hits hard, and he's got great hands and shit. But it's the way to neutralize him. If you can neutralize those things, if you're a good enough ground guy, you're going to own Sean Strickland all day.
Sure.
And I don't think, even with the shit talking, I don't think Chimaev is a guy that's going to fight with emotion on this, because that's how you lose when you fight with emotion, when somebody's pissed you off. You gotta.
Yeah, when you listen to the interviews today, because they had to keep them separate and high security, by the way, because TKO and the UFC was very worried about these guys being in the same room. I'd imagine when they have a face-off in the cage before the fight, there's going to be a lot of ushermen, there's going to be a lot of security, and probably some policemen in there, kind of like when Khabib and Conor fought. You're going to see a lot of security in this building. So,
the thing about Strickland too is I think he means legitimately what he says most of the time.
Absolutely,
yeah,
he's crazy, he's fucking nuts, and I think one day, and I hate to say it, but I think one day he will kill somebody.
I mean, like fucking shoot somebody?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he will.
I think he wants to.
I think he wants to.
Yeah. He's a hateful human being, man. He doesn't have a lot of nice things to say about anybody.
He had a really bad upbringing with his dad being abusive and shit like that. Not to make it
obviously rubbed off on him for sure.
Yeah.
Strickland's a really good boxer. His Philly's shell style box, and he gives a lot of people problems. Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was a champion for a reason. I mean, he hasn't beat tomato cans. He's beat some of the best.
Let's be honest, that was still a prime Israel Adesanya.
Oh, for sure. Israel's still a young guy now. He's just deteriorating fast.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one match I'm looking at this card right now that actually interests me the most is King Bobby Green versus Jeremy Stevens. That's going to be a fun matchup.
That's going to be a fun one. Stevens is a great boxer as well. He's got great hands. King Green, dude, that guy hits like a fucking truck. This is going to be a nice one.
He is entertaining as they come, for sure.
He really is.
I wasn't really familiar. I know he'd been around for a long time. I've seen his name a million times, but like I had said before, I stopped watching for years. And I think we've watched one or two of his fights now, because he's one of the most active fighters in the UFC. Yep. And you had told me the first time, he said, you know who this guy is? I said, yeah, I know who he is. I just never really watched him. You're like, you're going to love his style. And I've loved the couple of times I've seen him fight now. I mean, the dude throws everything out there. He talks all that shit in the ring too to people. And he just loves to fight, man.
Yep.
Really does. I really want to see him in BKFC one day. He'd be a type of guy.
He will be.
Oh,
he will be.
For sure. Absolutely. He looks like the type of guy that's going to fight forever, as long as he can.
Absolutely.
Other than that, I really don't see a ton of exciting matchups on this card that's really getting me. Wanting to see this. That Waldo Cortez Acosta guy, the heavyweight versus Volkov, that doesn't really do anything for me.
I think that fight got canceled, from my understanding.
Oh, I don't know. It's still on here for now, so maybe it did, but it was on this original one. That doesn't do anything for me. Josh Van, the flyweight champion, versus Tetsuro Taira. I've never seen either of those guys fight, and I don't really enjoy the flyweight matchups.
That division is just garbage.
Yeah. I hope Lewis knocks the shit out of Josh Hokett, but I don't think it's going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Josh Hokett proved himself the last time, standing toe-to-toe with that guy, Curtis Blades, and just slinging leather.
Now, let's be fair. Derek Lewis did lay Curtis Blades the fuck out.
True. So I do hope it happens. Derek Lewis has looked like shit for a while
Lately,
now.
yes.
You know,
Yeah.
he looks like he's just going to cash a payday every time he gets in there a little bit.
His back problems are notated for sure. Like he's got a really bad back, so
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. They've been trying to do stem cell, but they said that he's going to have to get a spinal fusion soon, so he's going to be hanging it up soon.
Well, he's entertained us for a long time, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, he's entertained us. Other than that, there's really nothing that exciting on this card to me, you know, but I definitely want to see that main event, man. I really do. I want to see that main event. That's going to be a really, really good one.
I think so.
It'd be interesting to see where they go. So what's your final pick, Strickland or Chimaev?
I'm going to say Chimaev gets it done probably round 1 submission.
Okay. All right. I think Chimaev ragdolls the shit out of him and gets him down, but I don't know how his ego is after all the shit Strickland said. So can he not be emotional? If he plays it smart, he'll ragdoll him and destroy him. But I'm going to go on a limb, and I bet against Sean Strickland last time, and he proved me wrong. And I'm going to go this time that I think he might have gotten under the skin of Chimaev a little bit, and I think Chimaev's going to try to stand with him a little bit, and Sean Strickland's not a smart guy to stand with. So I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to pick Sean Strickland on this one, actually. I think I'm going to change my original thought, and I think Sean knocks him out round 3.
Fair enough. TKO or just flat knockout?
TKO.
Okay.
Yep, TKO, definitely. I think he's got under his skin enough. I hope I'm wrong and Chimaev beats the fuck out of him, but Sean Strickland is a hell of a competitor, so we'll see. Did the mind games work? Did you get to this guy, or did...
I'll say this, in the interviews, it didn't seem like he got to him.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I've seen videos of them sparring with each other in the past. Did they used to train together or something?
Yes. They were teammates.
Yep. Did they not like each other as teammates?
Well, they were both alphas, you know what I mean? And they sparred a lot against each other, but Sean Strickland said that he never liked the guy because he would bully newcomers and shit like that. And so he said that he never liked Chimaev.
Sean Strickland strikes me as the type of guy that bullies newcomers.
I think he bullies bullies.
You think so? Do you think he bullies the newcomers coming in, though?
I think that he'll get in there, and if they fucking talk shit and act hard, I think he would, yeah.
Okay. Do you see Chimaev as the type of guy that would get in there and bully people around that are new? I do, too.
Yep, I think that dude's a rabid animal.
I think most of those Dagestani-type guys and guys from that area and that neck of the woods are. Mm-hmm. So that's my opinion, though. Cumdrop said he'd only bully Strickland.
Who is Cumdrop?
Chimaev.
Why is he calling him Cumdrop?
I don't know. I don't question the rewind.
Okay.
I don't question him. He might lock you in a Taz mission, and then it's over for you.
Mongolian Chop is in Rewind's intro.
Can you give us a tutorial on the Mongolian Chop one of these episodes?
Absolutely, dude.
All right. I know you've been studying this move.
I'm going to practice it very hard.
Oh, it's complicated stuff, I'm sure.
Dude.
It's
you can do it on anybody, though.
That's the beauty of it, bro.
It made Adolf Hitler fucking surrender World War II.
What a guy. What a friggin' guy. What a dude. When he was going to fight Nate Diaz, everywhere he was calling him Cum Drop. It sounds familiar to his name, and I thought it was funny.
I remember. Okay.
I didn't know he was going to fight Nate Diaz. Did he used to fight at 170?
He was good. So they booked Nate Diaz and him as the main event of a card, and then Chimaev came in at like 7.5 pounds too heavy.
Yeah.
And so they switched the whole card around to where it ended up being Kevin Holland versus Chimaev and Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson.
Mm.
And that was Nate Diaz's retirement fight.
Okay. Wow. I can't really picture Chimaev and Diaz taking one another on.
Yeah.
How can Diaz?
Yeah, it was supposed to be at 185. Yeah.
Wow. Who would you have taken, Diaz or Chimaev?
I think Chimaev would have won, but I think Diaz would have surprised him a little bit.
Okay. Taz's nickname is Turd. And he choked out Tony Ferguson, a very washed Tony Ferguson.
That's what I'm saying, but he barely beat Tony Ferguson in that fight.
Has Tony Ferguson won an MMA fight in the last 5 years?
He's been boxing with influencers.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson, the reason why Tony Ferguson is the way he is because Justin Gaethje changed him. You go back and watch that fight where Justin Gaethje and him were going for the interim belt. Justin Gaethje beat the brakes off of Tony Ferguson so bad. Like, you used to have the joke, the going joke for Tony Ferguson was he was El Kukui and the Tony Ferguson effect. So they would show a bunch of pictures of a guy before Tony Ferguson and after the fight with Tony Ferguson. And they would do that over and over again with all these different guys. And that night, you showed Tony Ferguson before Justin Gaethje and after. And I'll tell you what, man, Tony Ferguson was a changed man after he got in there with that fucking boy from Arizona.
Mm-hmm. He was on a hell of a run for a while.
Dude. He won
like 10 straight, 11 straight fights or some shit.
He was the boogeyman. He was the one that, and I'll be honest with you, had he stayed in that confident role and had he beat Justin Gaethje, I think he might have beat Khabib.
Didn't they have them set up a few times and they didn't?
3 times.
How many times? What was the reason for all the cancellations?
2 times Khabib. So the first time Khabib ended up in the hospital from a weight cut. The second time Khabib couldn't make weight. The third and supposedly got sick. The third time got canceled because Tony Ferguson in the press conference, some idiot left a cord sticking up and he tripped over it and tore his ACL.
Just completely snake bitten, huh?
Yeah.
Here's some of the names he beat. So he was undefeated in the UFC. He only had one. He got in the UFC at 2011. Lost his first fight in 2012 to Michael Johnson. No scrub. Michael Johnson was a good competitor. Then went on his run, and this is who he beat. So from 2013 to 2019, he didn't lose. That's pretty freaking impressive right there, bro.
Yeah.
Mike Rio, Kakuno, Castillo, Abel Trujillo, Gleison Tebow, Josh Thompson, Edson Barbosa, Lando Venata, Rafael Dos Anjos, Kevin Lee, Anthony Pettis, Donald Cerrone. Those are some pretty decent names right there, bro.
Those are some great names.
He knocked out Anthony Pettis. He knocked out Donald Cerrone by TKO doctor stoppage. Beat Dos Anjos, former champion. Barboza had a hell of a kick. Beat him by submission. Josh Thompson, ex-Strikeforce dude, beat him. Submitted a black belt in Gleison Tebow. Abel Trujillo wasn't a...
Josh Thompson, by the way, is the only one to knock Nate Diaz out.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Well, Kevin Lee, he was no bum. Submitted him. He had a hell of a run. And then, like you said, he met Justin Gaethje. He got knocked out by him in the 5th round. Then he lost to Charles Oliveira, Beneil Dariush, Michael Chandler, Nate Diaz, King Green, Paddy Pimblett, and Michael Chiesa.
That Michael Chandler knockout, you go and look at that. That's the first time I've seen a head kick turn somebody's face into a chicken nugget. Straight up.
That was supposed to be him versus Khabib for the 6th time. It could have pulled out. It was a 5-time proposal. That's amazing. They never got it on, and fought each other.
Go on the break here. I want to see if I can pull that picture up of Tony Ferguson's face when that happened.
I think Khabib would have took it, but it would have been interesting to see what happens if he got caught by one of Tony's elbows. Yeah, Tony was a tough son of a bitch, man. And he's still going. He's still boxing and shit.
Dude, this is the first time I've ever seen somebody get turned into a fucking chicken nugget on the UFC.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, come on.
Is that his jaw?
That's his jaw. Look at that.
Look at his eyes, too, bro.
He turned him into a fucking overcooked chicken nugget, bro. Look at that.
My God, man. All I can think of is that Kramer episode from
See,
Seinfeld.
look at that. That's something to see. That's bad, man.
God bless him, man. I don't think I'd want to be getting him back there and fighting after that one.
Jesus.
Woo! I could see how some of that shit could change you. It reminds me of when Kramer, they were next to a Kenny Rogers Roasters, and then they start seeing things, and they start seeing Kramer as a chicken, and then that's what that jawline reminds me of that he had with the Kramer face on the chicken. Man, that's gotta hurt,
dude. That was out here in Phoenix too.
Oh, did you watch that live or anything?
No, I wish I would have.
You've been to the fights a couple of times, UFC Live,
Absolutely.
right?
I saw Poirier and Gaethje fight.
Looks like the guy. Yeah, good point for the guy from Mad Magazine.
Dude, it
Good
was
point.
bad. That was a
Yeah.
bad knockout.
Tony's, I think, a big part of his downfall too was he trained himself. He didn't train with anybody.
Well, he got rid of his original crew, and then he had the domestic shit going on with his wife, and drinking a lot. He had flipped his car and got a DUI before that fight. So
yeah, he trained on his own, didn't train with anybody, or he would bring people in just to work
then
with
he
him.
brought in that fucking weird David Goggins, and he started saying that he was hunting bears with fucking knives and shit. Like,
yeah, just ridiculous shit that he was doing. And then he stopped sparring, I think, too. He said he didn't want to spar before fights and everything like
Max
that.
Holloway doesn't spar.
Really?
Yeah.
That is really fucking weird.
Never spars.
What do you think about that? I know we're not pro fighters, but what do you think about that?
I mean, it served Max Holloway well, but that's not going to work for everybody. You got to have practice, and it's one thing. Max Holloway's a warrior, and I'm sure he sparred at one point in his career, but he says he doesn't now. He had to have at some point.
Oh, for
you
sure.
don't get that. You don't get that fucking good without practicing. So, I don't think it'll serve somebody well. I wouldn't follow that advice at all.
Since the 10th degree planet black belt, they were training hard. That's Eddie Bravo, right?
Yeah, Eddie Bravo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eddie Bravo's a hell of a competitor too.
He's a bad dude, man.
Yeah. Would have been interesting in their prime to see those two fight for sure.
Yep. One of the dream matches that never will.
Yeah. Well, God bless Tony for continuing to go if he still wants to, and boxing or whatever he's doing. Who are we to tell him? I guess
Right.
That's up to him to see what they want to do. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Hulk Hogan documentary. We're going to give a review on this. We've been looking forward to talking about it. I'm interested to hear your thoughts because me and you really haven't talked much about it, to be honest with you, just a little bit here and there. And I'm interested to see for you guys that have watched it as well, what you thought of it. So we're going to come back. That's going to be our main topic for the night. Let's take a quick 5 to 10. And Richie, do you have a pick for Goof of the Week this week, or are we skipping it this week?
I'll have one by the time we come back.
All right, fair enough. So we will be back in about 5 to 10, guys. So come on back and join us for a little Hogan. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, everybody, we are back. Hopefully, everybody had a great break. Once again, I'm John. That's Richie. Richie, I gotta get some feedback here, okay? I want some honest feedback. I haven't even told you the story, okay? Be honest with me here. If I don't tell me what I want to hear. You guys do the same here in the comments. This isn't wrestling talk. This is just John. So, hired a girl, clean my house in February. Okay?
Oh boy.
Yeah. So hire a girl, clean my house in February. Price was like $200. Okay. So I was like $200, come in, dude. You know me, I'm a really clean guy. You know, I'm a little OCD.
Yeah.
So I hear like a big crack in the middle of it or whatever it was, a little snapping sound. And the nice person that comes up and does the cleaning says, you know, I apologize. I broke your sink in your bathroom. And I was like, how'd you break the sink? You know, I was going to clean the lights up top and stepped on the sink, breaks the sink. Right. I'm not mad. Shit happens, right? You know, people make mistakes. So person says to me that owns a business that does it, says, hey, you know, I'm really sorry. I got insurance, you know, we can file insurance if you want. I said, do you really want to have to pay the premium for it? You know, I said, you don't want to affect your insurance for that. It probably doesn't cost a ton of money, you know, for a sink, you know, for a new vanity. So she says, well, we'll buy you a new one. I said, okay, cool. I said, you sure you can do it? You know, I know people are struggling now. It's a tough time. I'm lucky and blessed in life. So I was nice enough. And I said, you know, are you sure? If you can't do it, I'll buy it. Don't worry. You know, that's God's honest truth. That's what I said. Yeah, no, I don't want that. You know, I'm going to buy it for you. Okay, no problem. Let's measure it out. This is the one. Boom. There you go. Order it up for me, or you can give me the money and I'll go get it. I'll order it for you. Okay. All right. About a week goes by. Nothing. About a week and a half goes by at this point. Says, oh, I ordered it for you now. So I've gone at this point about 10 days with a broken fucking sink in my bathroom. All right. Sends it there. Comes a few days later. Great. Call this guy in because I just didn't have time to put it in, and I wanted it resiliconed and replaced in there properly, and I had to get some little pipe working done in the area around the bathroom too. So I said to this guy, hey, would you come in and take care of this for me and seal it for me and make it easier? Nah, no problem. Cost me $150 in total for all the stuff I needed. It was $100 to put the sink in. Easiest thing for me. Didn't want to have to do it. So call him up. Comes over on a Saturday morning to go put it in. We open the box up from Lowe's and the fucking sink is broken. Okay. Busted. Contact the person. Hey, the sink's broken. I know it's not your fault, but I need to get this put in today. Like, can you take it back? You don't hear anything from them. They get back with you. I'm so sorry that happened. Yeah, not your fault. She didn't break that part of it. That was coming in packaging. She says, I can't do it today. And I said, well, how about I go get the sink and you reimburse me? Okay. You reimburse me. Cool. No problem. Thanks. I said, other sink's got to go back. So just bring the receipt over. And then I thought about it. I said, well, it's under your card, your name. You got to take it back. So I said, just come pick up the sink, take it back, and then you can pay me back. I couldn't find a sink that day. I had to drive an hour and a half each way out from my house all the way out past Scranton, Pennsylvania to a Home Depot that had the right size sink that I needed.
All the way to Pennsylvania?
Yeah. I had to drive to Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is an hour and a half drive from my house. That was the closest one, Home Depot, that had one. So I drive all the way out there, an hour and a half back. Get the sink, put it on, great. Life's great now. So I said, hey, come pick the thing up now, you know? And this is probably maybe like the first week of March or so at this point. Bro, fucking, I hear every excuse in the world why they can't come pick the fucking thing up. About 3 weeks goes by. I probably had 10 messages with this person to come pick the fucking thing up so I can get my money back. And nothing. Finally comes and picks it up. Lowe's is 5 minutes from my fucking house, bro, that you have to take it back. 5 minutes. That's all you have to do to get it over there. So I said, you know, just pay me back when you return it. Dude, that was early March. This has been going on now for fucking 3 months that I still haven't got my money back. So I finally lost my patience with this person a few weeks ago. They were supposed to come back and clean my house again. They said, hey, do you want us to come by and clean it? I said, absolutely not. I don't want you to clean my house. You haven't even paid me back the money from the sink that you broke. And I said it just like this, no cuss words, not being mean, really nice. You know, I said, no, I don't want that. So this person says to me, they go, oh, okay, well, how about I come clean your house for free to make up for it, and then I'll get you the money back, and I'll get it.
No.
So I said nicely, this is me being nice there. This is 2 weeks ago, almost now. So I said, if you want to make it up to me to come clean my house for free to make it up for that and pay me back my money, that's fine. I can handle that.
No.
What I'm saying was, clean my house for free is what they said they would do, and then give me my money back for what they broke, for the sink that I had to pay for. So I said, if you want to do that, that's what you're offering, then come and do it. Dude, never hear anything back. So about 3 days later, I don't hear anything back. And I said, all right, well, what about the refund? Nothing. 2 days later, what about the refund? Nothing. Boom. Did it about 4 times. Finally, on Monday, this last Monday, I lose my fucking cool on it. Not in a bad way that I got mad and angry at somebody, but I sent a message and I literally said to this person, I said, dude, I have been more than nice about this now. This is going on 3 months. I said, by God, I said, how hard is it to get me my fucking refund on the thing that you supposedly took back or were gonna, or if you don't, I don't give a fuck if you don't take it back. I just want my money for the sink that you broke. That's all I want. Bro, I said, if I don't hear anything by this Friday, I said, I'm going to go file a small claim suit against you in court. And I'm going to not only ask for the cost of the sink, but I'm going to ask you for the cost of my mileage drive up there. And I'm going to ask you for the cost of the installation of it too. So you have an option. I said consider this a 72-hour notice. I said, because if not on Monday, I'm going over and I'm going to file it in court against you. It's not hard to do. And I'll get my money. Dude, this person writes me back like I'm the biggest asshole in the world. Oh, you've had so much going on in my life and blah, blah, blah. And I'm here. I've heard every sob story why they couldn't do it before. Broken hip from a parent, sick children, bad staff members, no car, blah, blah, blah. I heard every excuse and I'm sympathetic. And then had the audacity to swear at me too and said that they've been nothing but nice to me about the whole thing and that I'm being unreasonable, basically. Now, you tell me after hearing that long, drawn-out story, was I unreasonable in any way, guys? Tell me, honestly.
I'll tell you where you were unreasonable. You should have never agreed for them to touch your fucking house again after they did that. Because who the fuck? I'm sorry. Like, even if I was to go clean somebody's house for a living, I would not stand on their fucking sink to clean anything on top.
Seriously.
Who does that?
Who doesn't have a step stool? And I have one right in the house. You could ask me.
Yeah, get a fucking ladder. What are you, an animal?
Common
You got to
sense.
step on somebody's fucking counter? You
fucking idiot.
Yeah, how many counters has she broken doing this?
Seriously. You know what the funny thing was too? Her and the girl that were working said that everybody else would be so mad at it happened. You're so cool about it. So cool.
No, fuck that. You need to sue him.
Dude, I'm going to. On Monday, I'm going to go file the thing. Like, it's not a... And you know what the thing is to me? I was
and you know what? You should have in the beginning. Here's where you went wrong. And this is my honest opinion of where you went wrong. Because I deal with shit like this all the time.
Okay.
Working on people's buildings and everything else. You carry fucking insurance for a reason.
Yep.
You should have, right when that shit fucking happened.
Yep, you're right.
You should have said, you know what? File the fucking claim.
Yep, you're right. 1000%. You know.
But you're a nice guy, dude. And,
listen,
that's what you got.
I'm like you, man. I own a business part-time where we do other things, done it for years. You're the same way as me. If I busted somebody's stuff, I would pay right out of my fucking pocket or with my insurance on it to take care of it. I've never done it, but I would totally 1000% do it. I owned a landscaping business for years when I got out of the military. And the only reason I stopped doing it was because it was too hard on my legs with my injuries. Dude, I had one time I had a customer that wasn't happy with the way that it was done. Okay. Wasn't happy. Every other buddy loved it. Never had a problem. When my customer was unhappy with the way I did something for them, you know what I did? I refunded them the money and I finished the job and I did it and took more time to do it the way that they wanted to make sure that they were happy and said, you don't owe me anything then for this job. That's what I did as a business owner. I didn't do it the right way for you. I misinterpreted. It's on me. I made a mistake. Let me make it right to you. Free job. Here's your money. You don't have to pay me. I'm sorry. Only time in years to do that. Never in a million years would I have not had the decency to be kind to somebody that was nice to me when they fuck something up, like,
Yep.
and then to put it back on like they did, like it really chapped my ass, bro.
And rewind, I noticed your comment up there. Yeah, I get that you stand up there and do it yourself. That's great. That's your place. You can do whatever the fuck to your place that
Yeah.
you want. But for somebody that's, coming in to clean your house, it's a different situation. Like, that'd be like me saying, hey, I'm going to come over clean your house, and standing on your fucking toilet, then standing on the back of the toilet to get to the fucking whatever the fuck, like it just, you don't do that.
No, I'm not going to put the person's name on blast.
You should ask and say, hey, do you have a stepladder? I'd like to clean your lights up there.
Yeah. Or, hey, I brought my own because I'm a professional and this is my business,
What kind of carny ass fucking cleaning place sends their lady out there and she fucking jumps up on your fucking couch? It's like if she goes in the kitchen, she's trying to clean your shelves up on top. She jumps up on your stove. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And I even when they broke my thing that day, this is the funny thing too. I even left a nice review despite them breaking my thing. I said how nice they were, the girls that came in.
You need to delete that review if you're going.
Well, I am saving it until I get this stuff settled the way I want to, because I want it to stand. If somebody questions me being nice, I saved every message, I saved everything, and I screenshotted it.
What the fuck? Rewind.
She should have a stepladder. And if you want to come over and stand on my counter anytime, Richie, I'd love to see that.
I'm a happily married man with children, just so you know.
So was I an asshole in any way? Was I wrong in this from what you've heard from me, from my perspective?
I think you handled it with class and everything else, dude. But unfortunately, in this world, in today's day and age, you can't.
I guess so. Live and learn, right?
Yep.
And it's not about the money. I could give a shit less about the money. It's the principle to me. I'm
somebody said they were going to do something.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it.
Yeah. And I have a problem letting go of it, with things like when they do that. I can't see you being an asshole, John, from the sounds of it. You aren't. Well, thank you. I try
He's an asshole when he drinks and someone's wearing a Dodgers hat.
That is true for that one. That is fucking true. But I don't know. I'm not a person that ever goes out of my way to be a dick to anybody. And if you make a mistake, like, I'm all about it too, man. Like, just make it right or honor. I'm a big thing. You know me about fucking liars and dishonest people. Like,
oh yeah,
just be honest, man. I could give a shit less if you're just honest with me and tell me. Like, I always tell my kids that, like, if you fuck up, just admit it. Like, we've all done it and we're going to do it again soon.
There's people that do worse, like burp their gerbil in the window to their neighbors. Like, it's okay.
That's
you can just apologize and let's move on.
Burp their gerbil. That's better than flogging the dolphin right there. All right. When you see a title for a show one day for burp the gerbil, all right. It's a potential that might happen, that you get a show on that. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm the same way, bro. I just don't like liars. I don't like thieves. I don't like people that fucking steal or are dishonest. So I just want to get that perspective from you guys, because that's the. And I'm not blowing this person's business up in any way. I'm not going to disrespect their things like that. And I hope they live and learn from this incident or whatever, but I doubt they will. Just dishonesty at its finest. So for me, that's why I'm going to give them my goof of the week for that one, Rich, because that's my vote for my goof of the week, at least. So I'm going to give them the goof of the week now that I know you guys agree.
No, Mark Kerr's a fucking goof. He's a fucking goof. Jeez. Anybody who knows him knows he's a goof.
Hail Dozon.
Hail Dozon, brother. All right. Hogan documentary. Ready to get into it?
Oh, hold on. I got one too.
Oh, you got yours. All right.
Yep. So mine is, I believe it's Tennessee. And if I guess I should get it correct. I think it's Tennessee.
Okay.
The state of Tennessee, I'm happy. So I don't know if you guys have been following this. It's a very tragic situation, very sad. It's gone on for a few years now, but finally justice in some way was served in the Athena case. I don't know if you guys looked about the FedEx driver who kidnapped a little girl and did some unspeakable things to the child and then disposed.
That was the 7-year-old kid, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't want to say his name because he doesn't deserve it, but he's a piece of shit. And I hope that he gets what's coming to him in prison. Well, they sentenced him to death, which, thank God, everybody wants this guy to be put to death for what he did. And I totally agree with that. My problem is with our justice system. This guy's going to sit on death row on the taxpayer's dollar getting fed 3 hots and a cot for 11 years. They're expecting this guy to sit on death row. 11 years we got to take care of this piece of shit and shower him and house him and feed him and everything like that. To me, our justice system's the goof of the week, because this motherfucker should be taken out back and put through a wood chipper, or just put one through the eyes, right between the eyes. What this guy did to this little girl has haunted people around the country, you know, and has damaged a corporation that I've worked for before, FedEx, for a very long time, you know. So to me, I got to put our justice system on blast, man. I don't understand why it is that when we sentence people to death, it takes so long. You give them one appeal process, and then you fucking just do it after that.
You know what they're saying?
Don't sit there for fucking 11, 12 years and let this idiot be on our taxpayer dollar.
You want to know what the best thing is? They say the average, if I remember correctly, today I saw this stat, and I might be a little off, but I believe it's a 20-year average that it takes to execute somebody sentenced to death. That's a long time, bro. Yeah. You know, and they do that to make sure they got everything right and all that bullshit and what happened. But
that's all fine. But by the time you do it, these people have all, I mean, you're ripping the Band-Aid back open. They don't, you know, you're taking you get closure in a sense, but it's like you're bringing it all back up. My thing is, you get it done now. Get it done now. There's no especially for pedophiles and crimes on this extent. Like, they should have appeal process when you admit fault and you plead guilty, and you say you did that, you know, and all the evidence is there to support it and everything like that. His DNA was found in places it shouldn't have been. Put this guy down now, you know.
Did he rape the kid too?
Absolutely.
What a fucking cocksucker, man.
Piece of shit. And you know, she was waiting for a gift on Christmas to give her father.
What a piece of garbage, dude.
And that's what he was delivering.
You know, the sad thing is, Rand, I don't think they'll get an opportunity to make it happen on him, because a high profile.
He'll be protective custody.
Yeah, the entire time. He'll be in a segregated cell to himself where he gets no interaction with other people, I'm sure, you know, unless they intentionally found a way to do it, you know, and to be able to cover it up, which in today's day and age, that's a lot harder than it once was. And I'm not saying it won't happen, but he's going to be segregated the entire time from everybody, unfortunately. And like you said, he's going to be on the taxpayer's dime for the next 1 to 2 decades. Wait, you know, what a
disgusting.
Oh, all right. So the justice system, they're getting goof of the week too.
No, Mark Kerr's a fucking goof. He's a fucking goof. Jeez, anybody who knows him knows he's a goof.
And don't get me wrong, like, I'm happy he got the death sentence. Don't get me wrong, like, he deserves to die, you know. But it's the length of time that he's going to get to live that's going to be probably, I don't know, 10, 20 years, which is, you know, double what this girl almost got to live.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong.
What an injustice, bro.
Yep.
I know he's getting justice with the penalty and everything like that, but it couldn't happen soon enough to a person like that.
Yep.
Couldn't happen soon enough. You mess with a kid, you don't even wait to take the terrible person to the firing squad. Crap like that would decrease if they brought it back.
I'll tell you what, I couldn't be a cop, because showing up to a crime like this and meeting up with a guy like that, I'd have put him down right there, you know.
It's got to take willpower of steel to not do that,
dude.
You know, I don't think I'd have that type of willpower, to be honest with you, to not do that.
Well, I think God definitely knows that for me personally, if I investigated a crime like that, I probably wouldn't live long after that either. So my mental prowess for children getting hurt, I just can't. I can't.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Well, 2 valid picks for the goofs of the week this week. Now, the Hogan documentary. Give me your thoughts on it, man. What did you think overall of this documentary?
I think it was excellent. The problem is the people that I wanted to hear from, I didn't hear enough from. And I feel like there was a few people that got too much airtime. And one in particular, by the way, was Jesse the Body Ventura. I didn't like this smug motherfucker. He is the most jealous human being on planet Earth of Hulk Hogan, and wanted to make him look bad in this documentary. And I think Jesse Ventura is a smug fuck and probably shouldn't have been in this whole thing. Linda Hogan, surprised she was on it. Surprised that they put as many parts as they did with her. Obviously, she was a big part of his life and everything like that, mother of his children and all that good stuff. The problem is to me, man, she sounded like a trashy woman, you know?
Mhm.
Like, even speaking about the time they met, she's like, who wouldn't want to fuck a giant and stuff like that? Like, I didn't get that from her back in the day when you'd watch like the Hogan Knows Best and stuff. I didn't get trashiness from her like you do now. And
Yeah.
it seems like she's a fucking drunk, you know?
Well, she's never gotten remarried, that's for sure. She was dating somebody that was old enough that was in her kid's class after the
That looked like Hulk when he was a teenager, by the way.
yeah, and it was just creepy on all levels with the way that that she did things afterwards. She looks like fun back in the day, I'm not gonna lie. You could tell that they had a lot of fun with one another and they did a lot of fun things for many years before
A
they
lot of
even
cocaine.
I did not know all that about him. I'm not saying I didn't think that he had used drugs or partaken in it at that point in time, but I didn't realize that he was into things like that. And they were very brutally honest about that. She was, at least. I mean, she dimed herself out on it too, so it's not like she was just throwing him under the bus. Like, she said the same thing. And once again, it's the past. It's not like we can take that back. We've all done dumb shit too. She came across to me as they had a blast and a lot of fun for many years, and they were good for one another, it seemed, for many, many years too. And they enjoyed having kids and all that stuff. And he talked about how it changed him. She said the same thing. It made him look at things way differently because of the kids and how much he loved them. And then, to me, the glaring thing that I saw that was the big thing that really brought him down was he was kind of talking about how he couldn't make enough money to make her happy.
Yep.
Like, she got blinded by the money so much, it seemed like. And you could see throughout Hulk's life and the trajectory of things, he's a very giving person too. And I'm not saying he's the perfect person in any way or didn't want things for himself too. He admitted he did not like being poor growing up and did not like having money. And that was a big thing to him. But I think giving to the ones he loved was very important to him. And I think at some point it just became too much because she wanted more and more and more and more, and it just wasn't good enough. And when his pain became really huge, that's when it kind of happened and really started to go downhill from them. I didn't realize he had never had any major surgeries until 1999 either. That was kind of wild to see.
Yeah.
I mean, real interesting.
I think those doctors butchered him and took advantage of him, I think a lot, and Brooke Hogan even shares this opinion. I think a lot of those surgeries could have waited in a lot of situations, and altogether probably shouldn't have been that many. You got to look at the quality of life when you're a physician. You have to look at the quality of life after surgery. And you're somebody who knows, like, when you go under the knife, it's not a natural occurrence to your body, and your body responds like it's being butchered because it is. And that's a lot of stress to put on your body and your heart and everything like that. Every time you go under the knife, it affects your heart in a very big way. And Hulk Hogan.
I'll say this really quick, Richie, just sorry to interrupt you. Some people say surgery saved their life. Some people say it ruined their lives. I'll say surgery ruined my life in a lot of ways, for sure. I got butchered the first time I went under the knife on my knee, and can't prove it in regards to malpractice, but I know it happened. And the doctor that did the surgery on me got suspended shortly after he did my first surgery for being intoxicated in surgical procedures. They had said that he was under the influence then. He had been arrested for driving under the influence, and he had a loaded shotgun in the back of his car, and it made him lose his license for a period of, I think it was 6 months. And then it came out afterwards that there were suits against him and issues.
Was this a VA doctor?
No, it was not. It was actually a private surgeon where I lived in Oklahoma. So we didn't have a big enough facility that if you needed surgery near the base I was at, we didn't have a hospital like that. It was a smaller base. So you had to go off base to get it done at the local place. And he was very highly respected. He worked in orthopedics with the big colleges out there and all that shit too. Nice guy, whatever, irregardless, had a lot of issues and problems. And it came out that he was operating under the influence for some people. And he got suspended medically shortly after. My leg was so fucked up, it literally snapped my knee basically after a month. And I had to go back under the knife 6 months later. And you know who had to do my surgery? That fucking guy again the second time. and we couldn't even go to a fucking regular hospital. I had to go to a 1 or 2 room emergency room in Mangum, Oklahoma, in this little dinky town, because that was the only place that would let him have a surgery there. That's the only person the VA would give me, and I had to get it done with him again. Second one, my leg was so fucked up, it ruined my career. It ended my career 100%. I would have stayed in. I'd probably still be in now and would have had an amazing career and had every goal I wanted reached. Surgery ruined my life in a lot of ways in my career. Now, hindsight's 2020. I go back and it's fine now. When I look at it, I gained a lot from it, but I've had 5 surgeries. I've never been able to fix it. My third surgery, they told me that they screwed this up so bad. I don't know what they did when they did this. It can happen. So I see where people are like saying this in Hulk's thing when you mentioned about the surgeries, that surgery could ruin your life. And I think it's very valid, like you had said, that surgery ruined his life in the beginning. It was a necessity, I'm sure. Somebody fucked him up and ruined him.
Well, the procedures ruined him. His spine was completely fucked. And he was taking copious amounts of opiates. You end up finding and this is the part that breaks me, because, you know, both of us have had our trials with addictions and stuff like that. He was on copious amounts of not just opiates, but the most powerful opiate around, which is fentanyl.
Fentanyl, yeah.
And the amount of fentanyl they were giving him would put down an elephant straight up, you know. And when he would go and get his prescriptions from like a Walgreens, they would tell him, we've never seen somebody on this much fentanyl ever, you know? So I think malpractice all the way around from him, even up to the fact, like, even if the surgeries fucked him up, they were fucking him up even more with the drugs that they were putting him on. And then due to his lifestyle, he was drinking on top of that. So let's just put into perspective here. When you take these kinds of medication and then you drink on them, it magnifies it 2 to 3 times.
Yeah.
You're talking about the most strongest opiate on planet Earth, and you're magnifying that with alcohol and what that does to your liver and all these different things. Hulk Hogan was lucky that he was even alive the time that he was.
Didn't he say he quit drinking for years too at the end of his life? And then when he opened the Real American Beer, all you see is, he starts drinking again because he's having to promote it and they're throwing him around everywhere. And you're seeing videos of him drinking his beer, you know.
Did you see the last picture of him that he took in public?
I don't think, probably, I probably seen it. I just can't remember it right offhand.
Yeah, let me show you. Because,
I mean, I can't imagine drinking booze like that when you're on opiates and other things that they're putting in his body. And you know they're putting other things, I guarantee, in there, like benzodiazepines, you know, things to help calm his probably nerves from the pain. I mean, this guy was probably on just a fucking cocktail of drugs, like you said, that would kill a fucking elephant, man.
This was the last picture of Hulk. And you can just see he's on death's doorstep right here.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't look good.
I mean, that was the last public known photo before his death.
Yeah, Rewind said, I can't remember the last time I saw him before he passed, but I remember thinking he looked old and beat up, and it was weird. Yeah, he doesn't look good in that picture you just showed right there.
Yeah.
He doesn't at all. It was interesting to see, too, like when you heard his early stories about his life, and I know other people know all this stuff, or maybe have seen a lot of it, but one of the glaring things to me was just how mean his dad was, from what it sounded like, and his mom to a level, too, even though he loved her very much. Like, his dad sounded like a fucking asshole, bro.
His dad sounded like an asshole, and that kind of trickled down to his brother, which you see a touching moment during the documentary where they start bringing up his brother and how he gave him money for a certain money situation that he was involved in where he couldn't pay his rent. And Hogan feels that he contributed to his overdose by giving him the money to bail him out.
Was his brother like a member of the Hells Angels or something like that?
It was the Outlaws MC.
Outlaws MC, okay. Yeah, he was part of some group. And didn't he die the day after he gave him money or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah, sad. I think he had said he hadn't seen him in like 8 years or something like that.
Yeah, he showed up to one of the events that he was at, and he was out front sitting on his car and basically told him that he couldn't afford to pay rent and all that stuff. So Hogan gave him the money, and he ended up buying drugs and overdosing.
Hogan gave a lot to a lot of people anytime they needed it, you know, and I think that's why his friends, you know, the ones that had been around him for long, always stood by him because they knew no matter what, Hulk was going to find a way to take care of him in his day.
Well,
You
look
know,
how he was with his son and how much trouble his son got in over and over and over again, and he never left him, you know?
do you think his son's going to keep staying on the right path? And you think that this has changed him from being kind of the irresponsible kid that he's always been, even though he's a full man, grown man now?
You know, I hope so, man. I really do, because I know that's Hulk's dying wish is he wanted his son to just be okay and be successful and carry on and stuff like that. So I hope so, but do I feel that way in my heart? No, but I'm sure a lot of people when I was strung out or when you were strung out, they probably wrote us off too. And we're hoping for the best but expected the worst, and it can be proven wrong. So I wish him the best, and I hope he does do something with his dad's name. He's talking about maybe someday down the road getting into the wrestling business. I don't buy that for a second. I don't
He's
think
in like his mid-30s now, man. That shit ain't gonna
right.
happen.
That's long gone. He needs to focus on profiting off his dad's brand and stuff, and just keeping the beach shops going, different things like that, and living his life, man, the best way he can. And hopefully he's semi-sober. You know what I mean?
Things can change people, and I don't know him directly, and I don't follow his story that much anymore. I never really did. I don't know. There's something about the kid that rubs me the wrong way a little bit. Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
was dating some porn star. I don't know if he married her or something like that. I know he got married recently. I know he was dating one. I don't know if that's the porn star one, but night, Jeremy. Have a good one, buddy.
Yep. See you later, man. He, to me, what ruined the Hogan family, what was the final nail in the coffin, was the Hogan Knows Best show.
Yeah.
They really opened up their home to everybody, and I think it caused a lot of tension in the household, a lot of scripting and stuff like that. Maybe art imitated real life and turned into a real problem for them. And I think that show screwed their family dynamic up and stuff, and I think it gave a little bit of the because Hogan was the celebrity. Hulk Hogan was the celebrity. And this was each one of their first time dealing with being in the spotlight, so to speak. So I think that they didn't handle success like he did. He was already used to it and things like that. I think it went to his wife's head, and I think it went to his daughter's head. And then I think that Nick Hogan, it came too fast for him, and he turned to drugs and alcohol to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. I hope he's staying on the right path. It seems like he's in a much clearer headspace from what he's doing, but who knows? Because there's been a lot of things that have been broadcasted through the years when he was in jail after almost killing that kid, turning him into a vegetable, and then there's been the DWI a couple years ago. It seems like Hogan's always given this kid everything that he wanted and needed, and he's done absolutely nothing on his own. That's the way it seems to me.
Well, Dennis Rodman knew Hogan really well, and he even said in his Hall of Fame speech, he never left Nick Hogan's side. He always bailed him out no matter what and took care of him and stuff, and he was a good dad. A lot of ways, I think that him and Nick were friends more than probably parent, father, and son,
Yeah, I would agree. That's a really good perspective, I think, after kind of seeing it. And I feel for Nick, man. I really do. It's terrible to lose a parent or anybody you love. And
especially his idol like that. Like, you can tell during the years of Hollywood Hogan and stuff like that was his idol,
Oh, of course. It's his dad. He was larger than life,
Yep.
Absolutely. I'll say this, and I hope it's not true. Hulkamania will always live on forever, but I think a lot of his business ventures will go away in a period of time. I just don't think the mystique of it will last as long. I just don't. I hope it does. Maybe they're doing great, and we'll always do great. I hope so. I mean, Hogan's Hogan, man. Hogan's the GOAT, and I love seeing that stuff. But I don't think all these beach shops and restaurants and everything like that, I don't think they'll sustain long term without him. Kind of the big thing about Hogan owning these and being his name was that he would come to the stores and do appearances and all that shit. Yeah, they're still open. They opened one up last year, right after he died. It was already in the works. It's down in Tennessee, I think now. I think it's in Nashville or something like that. And they opened one up out there, and it opened up, I think, like right after he died or maybe right before he died. I can't remember the exact time frame on it, but he's got a couple of them. He has that restaurant that he owned that he was always doing karaoke at every week. And I don't know. I don't think Nick's name can carry these things on. I think it's Hogan's name that was going to carry these things on in the future. So I hope they stay open and are profitable for the business and the people that work there. But I think the main part of those businesses was Hulk. And people being able to see him occasionally because he owned them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It sucks, you know, when you see it. Somebody said to me that they're like, it was hard watching my childhood idol, you know, tell some of the things he did about his life and what he did. And I was like, you don't like somebody now because of that? I can't buy into that. Like, everybody makes mistakes, and I can't sit over there and blame somebody all the time for what they did 50 years ago and think differently of them, even if they were my idol as a kid and we're saying, train, say your prayers, take your vitamins, all that shit. We have to remember that was a character and he was a human, you know, and
Yep.
humans make mistakes. So I'm not going to be that same type of person where I'm going to be like, oh, I can't like him anymore or change my opinion of him because of that.
Well, he even had differences of opinion in the end
Sure.
than you know, as
Absolutely.
far as, you know, world leaders, stuff like that. And you still worshipped Hogan as your idol and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So for me, what was the saddest part of the whole thing was his last appearance on Monday Night Raw getting booed out of the building.
Yep.
They put him in a really bad position, and he tried to play it off, but you could totally tell it bothered him. They put him in, and Hogan's a very conservative guy that had came out for Trump in support of him and stuff like that, and did the whole come out, rip his shirt off, they shot at my hero, you know, ordeal, which in a lot of ways probably helped sway the election a little bit, you know.
Mhm.
But when they put him in L.A. of all fucking places,
The worst place to bring somebody that's conservative.
yeah, and you think that that was a good idea, and in some ways, I feel like he was set up, you know, in some ways by certain people. And I'll tell you this, I don't think I think Triple H was a fan of the character Hulk Hogan, but I think that he had something against Terry Bollea, you know.
Yeah, maybe. I think it was definitely a setup, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah.
listen, I do not agree with his political opinions at all that he had and who he was endorsing, but I'm not going to hate somebody because they differ from me on those things. To me, that was the most disappointing thing that I saw about him, but it's still not enough to ever change my opinion. When he said Trump was his hero and all this bullshit and all that, whatever, despite whoever you believe, I respect your opinion if you like that or not. I am not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent. That's me. I vote for the best candidate. I know you're the same way. That's the way we both feel on things. But I don't know how you could say somebody like that is your hero and pull that line of bullshit out when that's all they do is awful and nasty things, man. And their whole life is centered on being nasty. I mean, look at Trump's statement today about Ted Turner being one of his great friends, but the greatest mistake he ever made was selling CNN to a bunch of, basically calling them snowflakes or whatever he says about them, you know, liberals and all this crap, and took that time to take something from a friend and a guy that was a pioneer, you know, and you put him over for a second and then you just go off on a tangent about negativity, about your dislike for CNN and all that shit in this eulogy you're giving for your friend. That shows you the character of that guy, you know, and who he is. The guy dies a few weeks ago that he didn't like, that was on an opposing, you know, political perspective. I forget his name, you know. I'm glad he's dead and gone. Who says that? You know, that's his hero. You know, like that really upsets me. Like when I see something like that, I'm like, what is he that weak-minded to me?
Yeah.
Like, was he searching for something so much? That's sad if you are, you know, because I can't picture.
Well, you got to understand something too. Donald Trump back then was a much different person than Donald Trump now, you know, as far as his personality. I'm not saying that he didn't have the same core values back then. He might have, I don't know. But what I can tell you is Donald Trump, to his credit, and I'll give credit where credit's due, was responsible for helping WrestleMania along, was responsible for helping the UFC along, was responsible for promoting these different things, and he helped them make a lot of money, you know, and attached his name to it and helped facilitate these things occur and take place. So I think that is kind of where these guys like Dana White and Hulk Hogan have this bond with this guy, not realizing that he's not the same individual anymore.
Yeah. No, and I get that. We talked about that a few weeks back when we did the, you know, worst Hall of Famers, and a lot of people always say Donald Trump. And if you guys want to go back in the archives, we actually discussed this on a show, and I was the one that said it. I was like, no, he should be a Hall of Famer for what he's done for wrestling and sports like that. He was a pioneer of those things and helped to get to the level they were. might not like him as a person or his political perspectives, but dude, he may help make these companies. And like you said, he's been very supportive of them. So I can understand that. That's a very good perspective and a very fair perspective to look at for me. To me, though, it's like, just because you do a couple of nice things and you do a million bad ones, I look at the million bad ones over the couple of good ones you do. And
he'll tell you in the interview, Trump said it. He doesn't think he's going to heaven because of the actions he's had on this earth. And, you know, I mean, he's been a pretty evil guy, you know?
I think that's an understatement, you know? He definitely has been, man. He threatened to wipe a whole civilization off recently, you know?
Them Epstein files are pretty bad too.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that one. I mean, that did disappoint me a little bit, but it wasn't enough for me to like sit over there and be mad because, like, who am I to tell somebody what to like? Even though I give those perspectives on what I don't like about somebody, doesn't mean that that's the right way it is or how anybody else sees it. And I can be a grown up and mature enough to say that. You know, maybe at times in my life I wasn't always able to do that, but now, as an older man, I can do that. So I can go with it from there. You know, Trump's now become the old man Trump who should be living in Florida and letting the world go by. He doesn't know what fucking universe he's in half the time, Rand. You know?
No.
If people thought Joe Biden was mentally incompetent, this guy's right up there with him. So they both should have matching seats in the fucking retirement village next to one another. Okay.
They should.
Like, it's so funny that Trump picked on Biden about that. And then you see the things that he says and does, and it's just total cognitive deficiencies going on there. And they're giving him tests every week for a reason, you know, or every other week for his mental competency. He thinks he's doing it just to make it, you know, show everybody that oh, I don't got this. No, they're doing it because they want to find a loophole to get your ass out soon, you know? Like, it's crazy, you know? It really is. And to see Hulk loving it, it's disappointing, but I get it. Now, going back to Hulk and the rest of it, I really, like I said, felt bad for his upbringing, man. Like, his dad was a dick to him and was horrible. The only time he ever wanted to see him, was proud of him, he said, was when he won the championship from Andre in Madison Square Garden and his dad came to see him.
Isn't it crazy the parallels of Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon's life in a lot of ways?
Very, very much, yeah. Very much.
A lot of people suggested that Hulk Hogan, you know, should have been running the wrestling industry at one point. And you know, then there's the other side of it that people say that he wasn't smart enough like a Vince McMahon to do so. And
I don't think he was.
I don't think he was either. I think he was too kind-hearted and he couldn't be a promoter.
No, I think it's different, in my opinion. I think there's part of it that could be said with that. Hogan is great at the Hogan business, all right? He's great at taking this character that he helped create along with Vince, and he knows what's going to make Hulkamania work for the most part.
Look at TNA. It's a prime example.
Yeah. I mean, when he tries to do it on his own and the vision and everything like that, he's good for the Hulk Hogan business and it's massive. But other people, I mean, they put AJ Styles and dressed him up like Ric Flair, bro.
Yep.
Okay. Come on. Yep. It was horrible. The TNA shit he did was horrible.
It was horrible.
There's no going around that. It was disgusting. It was terrible.
That was part of the documentary too. He even admitted during that time the only reason he took that job is because of the divorce with Linda and he was broke and suicidal even at that point.
Yeah. It was sad to hear that part too. I mean, I've heard it before, but when he gets into it a little bit.
Yeah, the part that crushed me and like took me a minute to keep watching. I had to take a minute because at the end, you know, they go, okay, that's it. So we'll see you in 3 months. And then he ends up fucking passing away in 3 months.
Yeah. What did you think of his new wife? What did you think of her?
You know, I don't have many details of who she is as a person. So I can't really speak to her character or anything like that or her influence, what she has on society. I do know that it's kind of a strange get together, you know. I think that his taste in women are awfully very similar, you know. And
you think?
Yeah, and she's the one that had the ties into Scientology, correct?
I believe it was her, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of Scientology. I'm not a big fan of that community at all. I think they're a cult and very horrible people that siphon money from celebrities, older people, you know, families and stuff like that. Wouldn't surprise me at all if most of his net worth went to Scientology.
I would agree. there's something about that said when they said his assets when he passed was $5 million.
How?
This
How in
is-
the fuck on planet Earth?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that the house wasn't included on that. I think they were saying like liquid assets that was available was like $5 million.
That dude had a storage container full of just a time machine of wrestling's greatest moments. One pair of boots went for 1.5. I sent you it today.
Yeah.
$1.5 million.
Yep.
How was he only worth $5 million?
And he won that Gawker lawsuit. I know he didn't get the whole thing from it. I know that whole thing, they went bankrupt and all that shit. He probably had got the remaining amount of their money that was in their company that they had
Probably
left.
30-40 million, I would assume.
I think they've said through the years that it was value, that what they had was about like 38 million or 35 million or something like that. And $35 million is a lot of fucking money. And if you think he doesn't own his houses by now, you're crazy. I mean, he probably
go look at the house that's for sale. He bought it for $3 million and they're turning it for a profit. I think it's going for 11 million.
They were trying to sell it for 11, and then I think didn't they just get an offer on it or something like that?
Yeah.
And I think they got 8.5 or 9, something the extent of that. So $5 million in like liquid assets, they're things that are right on hand. I think that's what liquid assets are, ones that are right on hand. Maybe I'm wrong on that terminology, but what he had on hand was about $5 million. I can't see that unless he gave it away.
Yep.
That's the only way I see it going, bro.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's got to be Scientology or something like that.
Grant just said it's going to be Buff Bagwell this weekend at Backlash.
He was trying to tease it on his social media today, Rand. That's probably where you saw it, or just laughing
That's
about
fucking
it.
hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting to see. I didn't get enough of a perspective on his new wife, other than the little bit that she was in the documentary. I hate to throw it like this, but she kind of reminds me of Erica Kirk a little bit.
Yep. I was going to say it, but I didn't want to say it.
No, I'm just going to throw it out there. She reminds me of Erica Kirk in a way.
Yep.
And I hope I'm wrong.
Like she was with him for a few years, you know what I mean? And to me, she's the type that would go on like book tours and shit and writing books about, well, I was with the man, brother, and all this stuff. Like, just total phony shit, making it like it's something it wasn't,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, she didn't impress me at all in this documentary.
His lawyer in this that they brought on at the end there is a scumbag, and you can see he's a scumbag, the one that helped him win the Gawker case.
Yeah.
He Rewind says he won the Gawker case because of his lawyer. His lawyer was hired by the guy who got outed for being gay without his consent, and he wouldn't revenge the guy who was one of the founders of PayPal. Yeah, his lawyer looked like one of those ambulance chasing fucking pukes, man, that just was waiting for cases like that and just bled people dry just because he could, and that was his way to kind of do it. His lawyer looked like a complete chode, but there was a lot of people in the documentary that, kind of came across.
Triple H pissed me off. Jesse Ventura pissed me off. Like,
why
Bret
Jesse
Hart was a drunk the whole time.
What was he drinking? Whiskey the entire time?
The entire time. He's like, he's a piece of shit, and he drank his whiskey. Like,
and I posted that thing on the Facebook page last week. I think it was. There was an article from 2002 with Bret Hart where he's just putting Hogan over to the moon, and the stroke definitely had to have impacted him with CT and stuff. And then you hear him on this one, and he's just going off again on him. Just horrible shit.
Just like, he makes up with Shawn Michaels and shit. I just watched the new Shawn Michaels documentary that was just dropped. And, Brett's putting him over to the moon, but then he's doing interviews about how Vince and Shawn are fucking gay lovers and shit,
I'll have to watch that, Rand. I haven't seen that yet. So I'll have to watch that to kind of get an idea and get a good read on her. That's just my quick perspective I see on her as Erica Kirk, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I don't think you are.
Yeah. I mean,
I think you're not.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive that, but yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
Erica Kirk is still coming out like she's fucking Goldberg,
Yeah, she's coming out with the fucking sparklers to the roofs for everything. Was that the most disrespectful thing you've ever seen at a funeral, to do that?
For what?
For Charlie Kirk's funeral with the fucking pyrotechnics and everything going off.
Yeah. It's very awkward.
It might be one of the weirdest fucking things I've ever seen in my life.
You know what cracks me up with the whole Erica Kirk thing is she forgives the shooter that kills her fucking husband and the father of her children, right? But she's like war-torn, pissed, fucking doesn't want to forgive or anything like that towards like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, any of that. She's like, fuck them, they deserve to fucking rot in hell. Like, but you forgive the guy the day that, the day after he shoots your fucking husband and shit.
Did you see how offended she got by that comedian who dressed up like her?
Yeah, Drewski.
Drewski, yeah. Like
that shit was funny.
It was really good. All right. It was really good.
Dude.
You know what I always find remarkable about people like that are aligned with that side of things, with the MAGA aspect is they are so quick to insult everybody else all the time and say mean and nasty shit about people and just be awful. And then when people give them a little bit of fucking retribution and fucking just give them back what they've
curl
done
up in a ball and cry.
Oh, they want everybody fucking thrown off TV. They want everybody canceled. Like
look at Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, I'm not a Jimmy Kimmel fan in any way.
I fucking hate Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, I can't stand the dude. All right, I don't like him. It's not my.
But I don't think he should be canceled. I'm just gonna not watch his show and not support it.
Absolutely. And then they're on there. Trump's wife Melania. There saying, "Oh, he's a horrible person. He should be." Dude, are you looking in the fucking mirror every day, realizing who you're fucking married to?
Yeah.
And you're gonna call that? It's just very interesting all the time. I know we're talking about politics, but politics is a big part of Hogan's story at the end.
Yeah.
And I think the way people viewed him at the end was worse because of his politics and what he believes. And of course, there's the other things with the racist stuff and all that other stuff that happened before. I think the real reason people hated him the most at the end was because of his political beliefs.
Sure.
And it's just wrong. I can't do that to anybody. Even if I don't agree, I'm not going to sit over there and
Rand, I did see this, and my God, was it funny? And you mean UFC, not UCF.
If you can find that, send that to me, Rich.
Yeah, I watched it today. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, please find that and send that shit to me. Like,
it's great.
I don't know I remember the Michael Jackson funeral was like forever, but I don't remember them doing any fireworks for it. I don't remember that, but I could be wrong. It's just bizarre to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's bizarre. Final thing I'll say before we get off here tonight and close out the show is, what do you think was the real cause of his death now that we're never going to know? From watching the fucking documentary and hearing everything you saw and just what we know.
I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to eat some humble pie here. Bubba the Love Sponge, as much of a piece of shit as I think he was, he called it from the get-go. You and I came on the show when he first announced that Hogan might be dying, and we were like, you're fucking riding his jock still. You're riding his coattails. Like, let it go. He's not your friend anymore. Like, Hogan's not dead. He's not dying. You're fucking wrong. And he ended up dying shortly thereafter. So he had some ears around Hogan in his close circle. Brooke Hogan and him both suspect that Hogan passed away from fentanyl use, and or it was a heavy contributor to triggering whatever took place. I tend to believe that Hogan was so much in pain that the medical fentanyl, because there is a difference, folks, between medical fentanyl and street fentanyl is much more powerful than medical fentanyl. I think that Hogan ran out of his prescriptions and was in so much pain that somebody in his inner circle had to go get some more to supplement his addiction. And I think that he might have either triggered a situation that killed him in the long run or overdosed on fentanyl. That's my opinion. Now, I'm just saying it's my opinion. I'm not saying it's fact-based or any of that. I'm just going off of what I've heard and the stories that I've heard circulating the internet. It makes sense to the fact that he was okay before the surgery, right? And he was taking the copious amounts of that stuff. And then after the surgery, he's put on even more, runs out, and then somebody goes and gets some. That makes sense. That's a total feasible situation that could have happened.
I think you're right. I really do. And it is hard to say about the Bubba stuff, but we got to be fair when somebody was pretty spot on, and he was pretty spot on in the process of,
Yep.
you know.
And there's a reason why they're hiding the autopsy. There's a reason why they're being really weird about the results of his toxicology reports and stuff like that. There's a reason why they're being so secretive of all this shit. And the person that could solve it all and put it all to bed is his wife.
Yeah. And she's not going to.
She's not going to.
There's something they don't want discussed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's something they don't want to make public and discuss, you know. And I'm not saying everybody should have the right to publicly see somebody's autopsy or any of that stuff. I don't know the legal stuff on that or the rules. I know that it's usually
his daughter should be able to see it. That's my opinion.
Well, you know, she threw herself out of the will and for decisions, bro. That's on her.
Yep.
You know, she made her bed and now she can sleep in it, you know. Yep. I have zero fucking sympathy for her not getting the answers she wants. She's decided that, man.
Yeah, she kind of wrote herself out of his life. Yeah, she's not.
She's not a kid, man. She's 38 years old now, and so she.
I do sympathize in the fact that, like, I get having problems with the family, and you never think that tomorrow is going to be the day that you don't get a chance to rectify those situations. So in that, I do feel bad for her that she didn't get that piece of reconciliation with her dad. You know, because at the end of the day, he loved her very much as his child, and she loved him as her dad. And you know, it's fucking sad when families fall out like that. You think all the money in the world that these people have and all the experiences that they get to have on a daily basis that we as the common folk don't get just make people happy and solve problems and stuff. They don't. These are real individuals too that have real problems and real disagreements and falling outs and stuff like that. And this is a very ugly one to see, you know.
I think he loved his daughter to death, and I think it broke his heart with the way that things were going on. But it also goes back to that thing like you were mentioning with cults and Scientology, which I think could have been a factor. And this is all speculation and opinion. We don't know anything like this, but this is what we speculate and think. And with cults, often what happens, certain family members get kind of thrown aside, or people don't always agree with the way they're doing things or whatever it might be, or they don't like to see it. And then when that happens, the cult typically pushes them away from their loved ones often.
Yep.
So that could have been a factor too. Who knows what it might have been. I just think it's very, I think it could have really broke his heart even more at the end, because you could see how much of a relationship that he had with Brooke. And
but be real though, like the official story doesn't pass the smell test.
It doesn't. No, it really doesn't. It doesn't.
Because here's my thing. Why hasn't that doctor been sued into oblivion if he nicked his artery in his neck?
Good point. Good point. Macho would have been a good dad, I bet, Rand, even though he's a little nutty. I've seen videos with him and kids, so he would have been interesting on that for sure. Yeah, good. I mean, good points. It was a very eye-opening documentary, very enjoyable. Netflix does a phenomenal job on those things. You got to give them credit.
They do.
You know, they did a hell of a job.
And I found out Triple H was actually a producer of this.
Yeah, I saw that at the end there. So,
yep.
Really, really great job, and very interesting to see. And I don't know. I think one day, even though they didn't go through with it over the last few years when they were supposed to, but I think one day you will get a Hogan movie, kind of like they did with Smashing Machine on Mark Kerr. And I think they might do something on Hogan's life a little bit. I think it's something that definitely could happen one day.
Yep.
Netflix is bread and butter, is definitely documentaries. They do it better than anyone else. Yeah, I don't think anybody compares to it with what they do. Their production value, the way they put it together, their storylines on how they link these things together. Most people couldn't sit through 4 hours of anything. These are the types of things, like, I had to limit myself watching it because I wanted to enjoy it, and I didn't want to do it all in one burst in 4 hours because it was that good, where I could have done that.
It was that good.
Yeah. So I spaced it out. I think I did it over 2, maybe 3 nights. And that's kind of how I did it. 1 episode, 1, 2 the next, 1 episode the next, or I did 2 and 2, one or the other. And there's a lot more I would have liked to have seen, for sure. There was a lot more people I would have loved to have seen in it. But hey, they did a great job. So watch it over a weekend. Yeah. And if you haven't seen it yet, guys, go check it out for sure. Yep. It's a really interesting watch. Well, Richie, any closing thoughts before we head out tonight, my friend?
I just want to say, hail Ricky Dozon. His Netflix documentary is definitely coming soon to a TV near you. We are going to have some Ricky Dozon T-shirts here very shortly to pay homage to that great individual. That, in comparison, John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, all these jabronis in comparison to him, don't even sniff the jock of Ricky Dozon. So just wanted to lay that out there. Thank you, Dave Meltzer. I praise your 5-star greatness for waking us up to the reality that is Ricky Dozon.
Yeah, Wrestling with Ricky is here to stay, my friends.
I acknowledge the Ricky Dozon.
We acknowledge our tribal Ricky.
Yep.
Hollywood Ricky Dozon. What a fucking guy. What a
Created
guy.
the NWO. He ended World War II. Body slammed Andre the Giant. You know, I'm pretty sure there's a pair of boots out there that have gone for like 1.6 million of Ricky Dozons.
Easy. Been a pleasure, guys. Cool. Thanks, guys. Richie, better start working some overtime. Get my money. The fight's in a week, buddy. Rand says, good show, boys. Devon, get the muffins. You are welcome. Great show, guys. Lots of fun. We'll see you next week. We'll have another great topic for you. Great to see everybody again out tonight. Rewind, great to have you back as well. Always love having you, each and every one of you guys. Thanks from Richie and I, as always, for just being who you guys are and giving us a fun time each week. So for Richie, I'm John. We are out of here. See you guys next week. Have a great rest of your week and stay safe out there.
Hail Dozon.